Down there quickly. That great opportunity for himself. Stephen Quinn with the hat trick. Now Oviedo. And Oviedo finds the back of the net to this Illinois debut. His first career goal. Luke Corver with the goal.
Thomas Colas, he's in. He shoots out in front. The captain is the savior again.
Thomas Colas finds the back of the net. Going in, it's a goal! Joe Nolan puts the line up 2-1.
Won't stop till we're legend.
We're on the air, it's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period, where players dash with skates aflash. The home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees. They travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, in the playoffs, too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and a one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Big Pond in Champaign, Illinois. It's a Friday night edition of Illini Hockey presented by YouTube, and everyone always says they want Bama, and tonight Illinois gets Bama. It's in hockey. Number 7 Illinois, number 19 Alabama open up a weekend series as the Illini take a weekend break from CSCHL playing. Alongside Ori Benatar, I'm Stephen Cohn, and Ori, it's Alabama, it's Illinois playing ice hockey. I didn't think we'd ever see this, but it might be the kind of break the Illini need because they've been struggling as of late in conference play.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch for them, losing 3 of their last 4, including that overtime loss last Saturday to Robert Morris, the Eagles, not the Robert Morris from Pennsylvania. A tough 2-1 overtime loss after beating them 6-0 on Friday, so I think that caught a lot of people in a loop, especially in a game where they didn't get penalized once, so they weren't on the penalty kill for the entire 60 minutes plus the short overtime that lasted. And I'm sure Nick Fabrini was really upset with that loss. And coming off of that weekend trip to Lindenwood, a team that's #1 for a reason. They're undefeated and just dominating everyone. They even played Alabama, and or they haven't played Alabama, excuse me. Adrian did and won 8-1 and 10-2, so they had a tough road trip there. But with Illinois, they just got to pick it up. It's good to have this little weekend to play a team that's not in the CCHL and just keep it going.
Yeah, nice little break for the Illini, but what needs to change overall? Because you see against Lindenwood, the Illini blown out in 2 games, especially that Saturday. It was like 6-0. And then last weekend, you come out really strong and you get the case of the Saturday Scaries, where in that Saturday night, you lose in overtime to a team that you really felt confident in. The Illini go from top 3 in the country in the polls to number 10, back up to number 7 after last weekend. What needs to change for the Illini to get back into the top 5?
Well, it's definitely the creativity on the offensive end, because a lot of the times you see Illinois has slow first period starts. They had a 0-0 against Central Oklahoma in their Friday game. That was 2 home series ago. Last weekend, a 0-0 through 1 on Saturday. They also had a slow start in the Friday 6-0 win against Robert Morris. So what they definitely need is a quicker start, but also on the offensive end, they got to be a little bit more creative. They got to get chances with the odd man rushes. Too much blue line passing sometimes, just looking for those deflected goals, and it seems that their offense can be one-dimensional in moments in different periods, so they have to improve that because defensively they've been pretty sound, and Jake Barnhart is coming off of a really, really good game last weekend.
Yeah, and they're going to need some new guys to step up because a guy like John Moskalik battling an upper body injury, he's going to be out for a few weeks. So the Illini without a guy that has 8 goals, 2 assists this year. Mike Turk, he's making his season debut. Chance Homer also hasn't scored yet this year in the few games he's played in. Who needs to step up for the Illini to get some points on, to get some goals on the board? Because that's been an issue 3 of the last 4 games for Illinois.
Well, when you say goal scorer and you say step up, 2 words come to mind. For me, it's Bobby Ernsting. He's your captain. He's got 10 assists this season, no goals, and he had, 13 last season?
Yeah, 31 points, 13 goals last year.
Right, and he's at 13 games this year and 10 assists, so he needs to get going. He's a master of the face-off. He's probably the best center on this team, but we got to see him score some goals along with Stephen Quinn getting some more. He's got 6. He's the top scorer in this game along with Casper Ribba, who's had a very good start to the season. And also I think Drew Richter as well is going to have a bigger game tonight because John Moskalik, 8 goals there, not going to have him tonight.
Yeah, Casper Ribba has lived up to everyone's expectations around this Illinois program for what a true freshman should look like. And he has been excellent so far, 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists. But no Illini Hockey pregame show is complete without a score prediction. So what do you got for tonight's game? It's not, I wouldn't say it's a must-win for Illinois, but you're getting there because you're getting close to Thanksgiving break now, and then close to that month-long break for winter. So they got to get some wins on the board, and it's going to start tonight.
I think 3-1. I think without Moskalik, you use that top top scorer in there. I think that's going to be tough for Illinois to kind of adjust and have a really high-scoring game. I mean, the Illini haven't had, you know, a huge game offensively since the very beginning of the season when they were beating Michigan State and scoring 10 goals and putting up against the Illinois State Redbirds. So, you know, against Central Oklahoma, they had a tough time. Against Robert Morris, other than Friday, they had a tough time on that Saturday game. So I say 3-1.
Yeah, I'll go. That sounds like a fair score. Jake Barnhart's been great in goal all season once again. Not as good as he was last year when he was about 10-0-1 in his 11 games, but he's been great again. The Illini, they got a tough matchup tonight, but it's nothing they can't do. They can obviously beat this kind of team.
And I think I got to point out the fact that the uniform matchup we have tonight is just as perfect as it gets. Alabama, the hockey uniforms, just imagine their football uniforms. The helmets with just the little numbers in that crimson with the big A on the chest. It's like we're seeing Tua Tagovailoa here on the ice. So could you imagine? He's probably an amazing hockey player too. Not going to get any intercepted passes. And then for Illinois, wearing the beautiful grays. Those are gorgeous. And this uniform matchup in this game is going to be fantastic tonight. And hockey getting a lot of the attention tonight, along with volleyball, who's just across the street playing right now because no football at home this weekend. Basketball played yesterday. So a lot of people excited for tonight's game. They wanted Bama, they get him on a sheet of ice.
Yeah, my favorite fact about this Alabama hockey team is they have more guys from the state of Illinois, 4, than they do from the state of Alabama. 1, they have 1 guy from the state of Alabama.
That is pretty remarkable. I mean, there's not a lot of times you think of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and think hockey. You think their football program. You think about Nick Saban. You think about all the national championships they've won. But they've got a lot of ringers on this team. They got a lot of guys who offensively are very, very good as you just take a look at some of their scoring leaders here.
Taylor Joseph, 8 goals this year, a team high, 10 points also. And he's a junior now, 85 points over his first 2 seasons in Tuscaloosa. This is a guy Illinois has to make sure number 6 in crimson, that's their color, right?
Yeah.
They had to keep their eye on number 6 tonight.
I think Nick Messina, too, is someone to watch out for. 7 goals, 8 assists this season. He is the points leader of this team, a sophomore from Hinsdale.
Yeah, Illinois. There's your Illinois
There's
guy.
your Illinois guy,
first
yeah.
one.
A lot of Illinois on the ice tonight for both teams. Didn't think we'd see that in a game between a team from the Midwest and a team from down south.
Only an 8-hour drive for Bama up here to Champaign. Illinois, Alabama coming up next on YouTube.
them is giving up and giving in. Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence and cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in? Will it save us from our sin? Will it? 'Cause this house of mine stands strong. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, 'cause you're a natural. I did it hard as stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Will somebody let me see the light within the dark trees shadowing what's happening? Looking through the glass, find the wrong within the past, knowing we are the youth. Caught until it bleeds out a world without the peace, facing a bit of the truth, the truth. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, 'cause you're a natural. I did it hard as stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Deep inside me, I'm fading to black. I'm fading. Took an oath by the blood in my head. Won't break it. I can taste it. The end is upon us. I swear I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I did it hard as stone. You gotta be so cold to make it in this world. Yeah, you're a natural. Living your life control. You gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural. Yeah, you're a
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump, and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period, where players dash with skates aflash. The home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees. They travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, last game in the playoffs too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and a one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Welcome back to the Big Pond in Champaign, Illinois. Alongside Ori Benatar, I'm Stephen Cohen, and we have Alabama and Illinois in some ice hockey tonight. I know it wouldn't be that fun in football, but I think it's going to be a great game in hockey. Illinois, number 7 in the country, to your right. Alabama, to your left, number 19 in the ACHA Division I polls. Their 3rd full year in ACHA Division I after making the move from ACHA Division III. The Illini, losers of 3 of their last 4. And they need a win in the worst possible way tonight.
Yeah, Bama as well. I mean, despite the fact that Bama is coming off a back-to-back home wins against Arkansas, winning 9-2 and 4-1. They've had a tough time in road games. Their last road trip was against a really good Adrian team, of course, the reigning ACHA champions, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
killed Illinois in the championship.
Destroyed them, and they won, and they lost 8-1 and 10-2 to them. Gave up 18 goals in 2 games. So a desperate need for a road win for Bama. Illinois needs to get off the schneid. They've lost 3 of their last 4. And we're getting close to that Thanksgiving break.
The Illini going to roll with their top line. Stephen Quinn, Bobby Ernstine, Thomas Kolas to start tonight, as well as the second defensive pairing of Mark Condotti and Tyler Opilka. And I think that's Illinois' best lineup right now. The kind of that forward grouping is going to be the one that might produce the most offense. He's got Thomas Kolas, who's been terrific as a freshman. Bobby Ernstine, 10 assists, 10 points this year, no goals. Probably hope maybe gets off the schneid tonight. And Stephen Quinn had a hat trick in the second game this season. He's been great all year.
Yeah, that line will be really good. You're going to win a lot of faceoffs with Ernstine in the middle there. Quinn and Kolas offer a good amount of speed, have skill shooting the puck from distance. And then you bring in Condotti and Opilka. Really good passing between those 2 guys. They find each other when they're open, and they're able to set up the offense really well. Interesting to not see Forfar on that first line. I thought Forfar played really well on Saturday, potentially earning a spot there, but going with Quinn instead. But Forfar with Novosel and Riba, that's a really good second forward line as well.
Yeah, and Illinois 7-3-3 entering tonight's game. The Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama Crimson Tide. I just never thought I would say it, so you said it. Yeah. I'm a little struck right now. They are 6-7. You can see if you look really closely on your screen right now, because we're on YouTube, at their helmets. Actually, on their bench. You mentioned this earlier in the pregame show. They look like the Alabama football helmets. That is awesome, I think. It's just a really cool touch. And Alabama, Illinois, they played back in the 2015-16 season, so not many Illini were on the team back then. Mike Turk, one of the few that's been with the team for 4 years now. And Illinois won those games. They were Division III back then. Alabama, they were established as a program in 2005. So very new program, Illinois, in its 60th year. But it doesn't matter when it comes to the ice. It's going to be Jacob Barnard. How about he does for Illinois in the net, and that's going to be probably what this game comes down to.
Always coming down to the goaltenders. I mean, that's just the general gist of hockey for the most part. You need your goaltenders to play well. The only time it doesn't is when both offenses are totally going and scoring goals. The thing that I'm really interested in seeing tonight is what we see from the penalties, because this Illini team has had trouble with discipline in recent times. In the Central Oklahoma series against Lindenwood, no penalties called on them last Saturday against Robert Morris.
We will have the national anthem performed by one of the campus a cappella groups, and then we'll be right back. Illini Hockey on YouTube coming up next. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Ripcords to open up tonight's game.
And taking us into Veterans Day weekend. I mean, this whole month honoring veterans, to all who've served, to all who are currently serving. We thank you for protecting our country, obviously. A great national anthem, Veterans Day on Sunday. We got hockey coming up. The Tide and the Illini, man. Who thought we'd see it on this campus in these last 4 years?
Hey, it is. It's exciting in any sport. Just seeing Alabama on the front of a jersey. We'll stop talking about it now. We'll get to the actual hockey in a second. To the left in goal for the Tide, Patrick Osterman from Calgary. 7 games this year, 3-4, 4.47 goals allowed, and a .901 save percentage. Jake Barnard for the Illini, the junior from Naperville. 11 games last year, he went 9-1, only allowed 16 goals. It's been a little more difficult this year. 10 games played, a 5-2 record, 2.33 goals allowed against, a .914 save percentage. But the big one, 2 shutouts, and one of those coming the last weekend against Robert Morris.
Yeah, a shutout would be good here for either side. I mean, you look at both goaltenders. Osterman, very, very good from Calgary, and then Jake Barnhart. He was making incredible acrobatic saves Saturday against Robert Morris. So the goaltending matchup is going to be key, especially for Illinois, without their top scorer, Moskaluk, on the ice for them.
It was Ernsting and Taylor Joseph on the opening faceoff, won by the Illini, going neutral ice now. It's pushed back, and Bobby Ernsting has to recover and send it over to Tyler Opilka. Opilka over the block eye, over the blue, and drops it. It's going to be the first whistle of the game, as that was number 26, Thomas Colas.
I like the speed there. I like what they're doing. Opilka just getting up past that red line, and Illinois is going to have to be creative on the offensive end. That's something that they're going to be looking towards, and also just take advantage of the speed of the defenseman.
Bobby Ernsting, Taylor Joseph, and Ernsting wins it again, sent to the corner. Number 88, Andrew Durkin chasing after it, but it's Thomas Colas then boards. Number 96, Kalen Briere finds it now, and he's over the block eye. Over the blue, a 3-on-2 if he gets it fast enough. Whoa, and it goes to Jake Barnard, who shovels it aside to the near side corner. The blind spot on your screen on the YouTube broadcast. Thank you for joining us this evening. Illini Hockey on YouTube. Thomas Colas into center ice as the Tide go for a change. It's dumped in 1 minute in. Illini with no shots yet, and 1 for the Tide. Nice save, nice stop by Casper Ribba in open ice to block that down with a stick, as Briere now gives chase.
Really, really good block by Casper Ribba. Nice heads-up play, just getting that stick up and preventing Alabama from getting a nice rush.
Illinois working well right now, neutral ice. The shot by Luke Forfar missed. It's wide, hits the boards. Illinois tries to keep it in their zone. That's Neil Novosel with a nice second effort to keep it in the Illini's offensive zone. Drop back, Forfar to Charlie Salk. And it's the first save of the game by Patrick Osterman. The Illini moving fast. You mentioned that in the first 10 seconds of the game. It's been true for 86.
Yeah, they've definitely, they're good with stamina. They've got speed on the ice. They've had a good start in these first minute and a half, getting some shots from the blue line, getting some shots near the slot as well. And they're going to just have to keep that momentum going as they've got a change here. You got Homerin in the faceoff.
Yeah, Chance Homerin, limited action so far this season. He's been dealing with some injuries. So good to see him finally back, especially with John Moskalik. His 8 goals, 2 assists, out for a few weeks. That shot sent into the netting here at the Big Ponds. And someone like Chance Homerin might really need to step up for this Illinois team because they need some more scoring now.
Yeah, the junior definitely going to need to step up, as well as a lot of other guys for this Illini team. Need goals coming from all over the ice.
Chance Homerin, he's best on short-handed opportunities, but considers himself more of a third-line grind. The Illini need the next month or so without Moskalik. Teed sends it over, far side circle, back to Teed at the left point. Drops it, Alouette, shot wide. Pass Barnhart. Colas gives chase and tries to send it forward. Drew Richter, 1 man to beat. Drew Richter going down near side, shot wide again, meets the boards. And that was a hard shot. The Illini with several of those so far.
Yeah, both teams taking some hard shots, and Illinois had more chances, but Alabama with the better ones.
Justin Reese shot again. Hits the blocker of Osterman.
It's a who can hit the hardest competition right now. 3 consecutive wrist shots there, just careening off the board, just going all around the ice right now.
Condati pokes it all the way in. And then taking a man down is Vince Avino on the 4th line today for the Illini. Vince Avino, he played forward most of his life, was listed as a defenseman here, but now he's back as a forward without John Moskalik in the lineup. Going out near side are the Tide. Sent all the way toward the boards. No icing called. Ricky Haddon Tries to just poke it over to Tyler Opilka, and he will. Opilka throws the one at the boards, and now it's Evan Sabo. Sabo back to Opilka. Opilka in the near side circle. Trying to go around the net. Now he's in the far side circle. Trapped in the corner. Tries to get a centering pass that's wide, and it goes all the way to the near side boards.
Good setup there by Opilka, and right now for Alabama, they're just going to need to get their passing a little bit more accurate, as they've had a tough time with that, but it looks like we have a penalty coming up.
Yeah, might be, thought might have been offsides for a second. It looks like, yeah, just offsides. So Illinois 16:45, left to go 0-0 with Illinois and Alabama. Alongside Ori Benatar, I'm Stephen Cohn. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. And there was a penalty, it was on Bama. So number 15, Nicholas Zarcone.
Something the Illini didn't have too many of on Saturday against Robert Morris. Only had 2 power plays. They did score on their last one, though. Going to be important for them to get shots off.
2 minutes for hooking for Zarcone. So the Illini on the power play. Opilka at the point. Pass near side to Ernsting. Ernsting surveying, shot, and that met a blocker in front. It's about Illinois getting those shots actually on the power play right now. Opilka at the point again.
Getting their first shot within the first 25 seconds of the power play.
Opilka's shot again. Glove save by Osterman. So another offensive zone draw for the Illini. But I feel you want to get some misdirection also for Osterman. 2 shots from the point.
And that's how Illinois scored on their last power play. Got a misdirect. Luke Forfar getting that in last Saturday against Robert Morris. But already getting 2 shots off here, not even 40 seconds into the power play. You can tell they've been working on this power play all week for this game.
Ernsting, Jacob Now. Some of the Now family sitting in front of us here at the Big Pond.
Good Bama crowd that came here to Illinois. Long travel.
Yeah, Alabama took an 8-hour bus to get to Champaign the past 2 days. Ernsting, the shot deflected, and then meeting the post was Luke Forfar on the rebound, and Illinois will have to recover as it would have been offside, so Tyler Opilka couldn't get the keep on that. So Illinois about halfway through the power play. 2 shots from the point, and then 1 second chance opportunity by Luke Forfar right there. That's some progress on the power play.
Yeah, Ernsting just unleashed a slap shot there, and Forfar was right near that post to try and get that poke. I think Osterman might have got a pad to that, so he's been really aware of this power play. He's done a really good job to make some saves.
I don't think Illinois has lost a face-off yet tonight. Neil Novosel wins that one over the blue line. It's Thomas Colas. Colas, far side half-boards. Back to Joe Nolan. Nolan, Illinois' best 2-way defenseman. Centering pass and a diving Thomas Godfrey got in front of that one. A great play by him to deflect the shot.
A lot of space in the high slot for Illinois right now, but they're getting a lot of shots off. This has been a good power play for them.
Nolan, slap shot coming. Charlie Salk wide. 35 seconds left in the power play. Back to Nolan at the point. Nolan, Salk, trying again. Near side circle, deflected in front, but 2 good shots from Charlie Salk. 20 seconds left now on Zarcone's 2-man minor, sent all the way down to Barnhart. And Illinois is going to have to move fast. The two-line pass finds Thomas Colas, puts one D-man shot, stopped in front. So 10 seconds left now, and the Illini doesn't look like they're going to get anything out of this power play, but a lot of shots.
Yeah, despite getting around 7 or 8 shots, but Bama coming down.
And a nice blocker save with that right blocker by Jake Barnhart.
And that was good from them. I mean, in that penalty kill for Alabama, they were only able to clear their lines just 1 time throughout the power play. Really good from Illinois, though, as they come back up ice.
2-line pass to Stephen Quinn. He was looking for Ricky Haddon. Haddon falls down, tries to get it on a spin. He won't. 14:30 left to go. Mark Gandati at the left point. But deflected in front, but Ricky Haddon got it fast. Far side half boards, Tyler Opilka. Opilka throws that one. Now it finds Stephen Quinn. Back to Opilka at the right point. Top of your screen. Shot, Vincevino. Blocker in front. A lot of block shots from Alabama's defenseman so far. Stephen Quinn at the goal line. Pass back to Opilka, and he was able to get the keep. That was close. Mark Gandati, left point, shot wide. A lot of wide shots also. Illinois, it's the offense. It seems to be pretty consistent so far. A lot of wide shots.
It just seems like a trend at the Big Pond in these games where the Illini always have the better end shots-wise. They get a lot of shots off, but the keepers they face, Osterman has made some really good saves. But at the other end of the ice, whenever the Tide do get a chance to score on offense, they usually have clear chances. And Jake Barnhart coming up big with that save right as the power play was ending. But right now, the Illini have been the better team after around 6 minutes.
Illinois has to find a way to get one of those redirects again. Luke Forfar had a good chance earlier. Joe Nolan, centering pass. And stepped in front. Chance Homer with a good chance. Good to see Chance Homer kind of get into his space right in front of the net. That'll cause some havoc. Drew Richter back to Nolan. 13:30 left to go in the first. Richter centering. Hey, he finds the back of the net. Drew Richter puts the line up 1-0 with 13:31 left to go.
I said they needed variety on offense, and they definitely have. Shots from the point, shots from the slot, and right there, Richter did such a good job. One hand on his stick, keeping it with the backhand of that possession, then coming just all around, high slot with that wrist shot, and that's a goal for the Illini that they probably deserve after what has been a great offensive performance in this first 6.5 minutes. And they've got themselves a lead as Drew Richter with a big goal.
Nick Fabrini said Drew Richter could be a 20-goal scorer in the sophomore's second year with the program. That's number 6. Has a good chance still. Back in the game, 1-0 Illinois, 13:20 left to go. The face-off, it's over the blue line now for Bama. Number 98, Mark Demers, over to Sable. Sable, glove save by Jake Barnard. So it's how you respond after a goal like that. And Jake Barnard, who hasn't faced many shots so far today, good on defense.
If there's one thing Jake Barnard has in his locker, it is his glove. He's so quick with it. He's got great reflexes with the glove and also just good hand-eye coordination with that. And whenever he needs to make a save, he tends to.
Face-off, won by No Novosel. It's Charlie Salk behind his own net. Had the Luke Forfar tips it ahead. First to get to it's Novosel. 3-on-2 if the Illini can get it, they can't. 13:05 left to go in the first. Illini up by 1. Mike Turk, good to see him back on the ice after suffering an injury against the Springfield Junior Blues in the Illini's final exhibition before the season started against Michigan State. Turk at the left point. To Salk. Salk shot wide. Glove save by Osterman as he had to kind of shield himself from Casper Urba as well.
I think one other thing the Illini are doing really well and has been a big difference in this game is faceoffs. It seems as though Alabama just haven't been able to win any faceoffs. The Illini with Novosel and Ernsting usually in the middle there, as well as Chance Homer every now and again, just winning those faceoffs, and that's super important to just keep possession and be able to create offense.
Pass in front, right off the draw line to go for those quick scores. Really just laid on them like they did the last Friday against Robert Morris. In a 6-0 victory here, the big bun. Bobby Ernsting, great move in a man. Back out to Tyler Opilka. That shot deflected wide.
It's a great move by Bobby Ernsting. Great stick control there with the puck.
Makes you wonder, how has he not scored yet this year? 10 assists, no goals for Illinois' captain. Thrown all the way ahead by Alabama as they'll be able to go for a change. That's what they have to do right now. Illinois got so much time in the offensive zone that Alabama just, when they finally get the puck, just throw it ahead, chip it ahead, get a change. 12:05 left to go in the first. Illini up by 1 on Drew Richter's 6th goal of the season. Over the blue line into the near side corner goes Mark Condati. Brian Sabled with the puck, and a shot saved by Patrick Osterman. So Osterman, a first-year goaltender. That's where Alabama kind of had to reset this year. They made the top 25 for the first time in program history last year, and now they're in the top 20 pretty steadily. A good schedule this year, but they got 3 first-year goaltenders on the roster.
And they're going to get experience, and I think Osterman has had a pretty good season overall. He's coming in with a 90 save percentage. That's going to go down, but he's given up around 4 goals a game. And
that's a lot of shots,
record.
though. You know, that's
right. I mean, he's facing almost 20 shots. He might face 30 shots this period, just the way it's been going. We're not even halfway through the first.
Yeah, Jake Barnard's maybe faced 3 or 4 of the Illini, at least with 10 at this point. 11:40 left. It stays in the Illini's offensive zone, but Alabama trying to break out. Number 89, Jack Rudy. He does, but great defense by Jack Graham to stop that one. Joe Nolan, the first to get to a puck, and thrown all the way ahead. He's so great with the puck. And Vince Ovino, almost the first one to get to it. Jacob now catches him in center ice. Far side. Tries to stop the goal line. Put the deke on him, and shot by Alouette wide.
Now making the Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley-esque catch there. Trying to give Bama some chances, but now the speed of Evan Sabo coming through for Illinois.
Evan Sabo, one of the Illini's fastest forwards. One of their fastest players overall, and he gets stuck at the end boards. It's Jacob now again. So Jacob now, I think, has been kind of the difference maker so far as there's an icing call on Bama. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists this year, but the reason Jacob now, I think, hasn't been able to be as much of a factor for this Bama team, 26 penalty minutes. That leads the team.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the box yet today. Only 1 penalty so far, and can't score if you're not in the box. I mean, I hate to be the broken record / the obvious one here, but a face-off win for Alabama, but it goes right back to Illinois.
Charlie Salk, another shot from deep, basically from the blue line. That's 3 so far in the first 10 minutes of this game. And stopped in front. That's now again leading the breakout over the Rudy. Rudy takes a big hit into the boards by Drew Richter.
Richter doing it on both ends, getting the goal and using that body to get that big hit. That's going to get the crowd woken up here and give Illini some momentum.
Chance Homer through neutral ice over to left circle. And he falls down into the boards, crashing down. Slow to get up, but he does. It's sent all the way back, 10-20 left to go. Chance Homer, of course, has been dealing with a multitude of injuries. So good to see him get back up from a hard hit like that into the boards. Icing call on the Illini.
Almost halfway through the first, I think it's worth mentioning, we got to keep a counter going. With 14 seconds left before halfway through the first period, Illinois could go 70 regulation minutes without a penalty, dating back to last Saturday's game. But
unless
also,
you just jinxed it, that's
unless
impressive.
I just jinxed it could be a commentator's curse. But at the same time, I think also what's really impressive for Illinois is time of possession. They've probably had the puck for around 6.5 to 7 minutes in this game.
And that's like actually cycling in the offensive zone as the Illini look like they're about to come away with this. Barnard shovels it to the side, near side corner, where Chance Homer takes another hit into the boards. And then, dangerous pass on the goal line by the Illini, trying to clear it. Finds Jack Rudy now. Rudy over to Joseph. Taylor Joseph from Toronto, 85 points over his first 2 years. We mentioned that he might be the guy that Illini have to watch out for today. At the end boards, Paul Prigos evades a hit, and Casper Urbo finds it.
Salk skating without a stick right now. He's going to kick it right here.
Oh, he just kind of went over to Luke Forvar can get to it, but a shot now and a great save by Jake Barnard as he had to avoid Nick Messina in front of him. Back to Price at the right point. This is Alabama's best offensive possession of our cycle so far today.
Got a really good shot off there, but Barnhart able to evade someone in front of him despite a Bama player jumping in front of Barnhart as the puck was coming in, as we got a scramble going on.
But that puck's finally loose. Chance Homer throws it ahead into neutral ice. The Illini able to go for a much-needed change. 9:05 left to go. That was 1 minute in the offensive zone for the Tide. And a few good shots, but it's still a 1-0 lead for the Illini. That pass finds the end boards. Joe Noel now. 2 Bama defenders. Good aggressive forward check by them right now.
And one thing Bama's doing really well right now, their forward line defending. That's something that you can always catch Illinois off guard with, is whenever they're behind the net or near the net. Barnhart and sometimes the defenseman can be a little too confident in the passing and sometimes get caught off guard. Bama's done a really good job trying to win possession back in their offensive zone near the net.
Pierre Alouette out of France, a junior. He's the assistant captain on this team, and he tries to lead the breakout. But that pass finds Jack Graham's stick in neutral ice, and now Bobby Ernstine. Ernstine back to Joe Nolan. Nolan going to lead it. Nolan, 2-line pass, all the way down to Osterman. So not a good breakout for that line. I kind of just a lot of loose pucks. Now 8:16 left to go. They hit that 70-minute mark without picking up a penalty, and that's what Nick Fabri's team needs to do, because in the past it's been a team that wasn't disciplined enough, and now they seem pretty disciplined.
And it probably is longer. I don't know when the last penalty was called for Friday's game against Robert Morris, but dating back to Saturday. Let's see if they can go we'll say if they can get a 4th consecutive regulation period without a penalty.
That shot saved by Osterman off the draw. 8:14 left to go. That line I have 1-0 alongside Ori Benatar. I'm Stephen Cohen. Thank you for joining us. Friday Night Hockey from the Big Pond in Champaign, Illinois, and Alabama. First meeting since 2015. Tyler Opilgo at the point to Mark Condotti. Mark Condotti, that shot hits the end boards. And scramble in front. Loose puck comes away with it. Number 97, Thomas Godfrey, the junior. 12 games played, 1 goal this year. He can't clear it. It's on our blind spot now at the left point.
Gotta love the blind spots.
Everything on the near side's a blind spot. We went to Lindenwood 2 weeks ago. There were no blind spots. You can see the entire ice. Evan Sabo shot from the point. Osterman just blocks that one away. Couldn't hold on.
It's going to be a really long night for Osterman. He's going to deal with a lot of shots if Illinois can keep up this offensive pressure all game.
That shot saved by Barnhart, sticked away. Meets the end boards. Sabo, good pass to Tyler Opilka. Let's go over the blue, and Opilka shot wide past Osterman.
Really good chance for Tyler Opilka trying to find that far post. Very good opportunity as Illinois' offense just continues to be just smooth, silky, and efficient.
Opilka not a big scorer. Drew Richter, he is. Shoots that one. Now it's Justin Reese at a hat trick in opening night. Reese to Opilka. Opilka just 8 assists this year. No goals, 3 goals, 23 assists last year for the assistant captain. His 3rd year with a letter on his sweater. Drew Richter, that shot wide. Hits Osterman. Far side corner, Chance Homerin stops, starts again. Pass to Reese, couldn't find him. Drew Richter now, Richter behind the goal. Maybe a wraparound opportunity for him. He's gonna find Rick coming on the ice, number 17. Check that number 12, Mike Turek. Number 17 is John Moskowitz. He's out for a few weeks. I knew that. You knew that. We all knew that.
We all knew that, yeah. But if there's got to be a first star in this first period, it's got to be Drew Richter. Getting the goal, he's been good defensively, getting that big hit, but also creating space for himself, skating around the circles to find space in the high slot for some shots, and also finding open passes. He's been phenomenal in this first period.
Another face-off won by that line. This one, Neil Novosel. It's Turek. Turek throws it against the boards, forward. Back to Novosel. Novosel pressured by a man, far side now. It's going to be a chase. It's Luke Forfar. Forfar raids a hit from Hannah. And finds a stick, but Charlie Saul couldn't get the keep. Back to Turek. Turek skating as the 7th defenseman, his first action of the season tonight after suffering an injury in the Illini's final exhibition game. Oh, great move! And that one hits the back of the net.
That would have been something else if Illinois was able to score that one. And they haven't had to go back to their defensive zone on potential offside calls too often after that errant pass. But despite that, they were still able to make a good chance out of it. And here they come again.
Casper Ribba, he's been a difference maker all season long. Almost had a 6th goal a moment ago. It's on the stick of Ribba, the freshman out of Cole Valley. Ribba goes for a change. Drop for Forfar. Forfar. Back to Ribba. Now into the corner. Near side. It's Joe Nolan. Ribba's calling for it. Nolan will hold it. 5:28 left to go. Nolan at the right circle. That's his spot on the ice if he wants to get a shot off. And Nolan goes skating into the boards. Bobby Ernsting. Jack Graham's calling it. Ernsting from the point. No goals yet this year. Still can't get that one. Joe Nolan now spinning pass. To Colas. Shot wide again. Jack Graham now. Left circle. Back to the left point. That line had 3 shots so far on this chance. Back to Colas. Colas from the point. Looking for a deflection. He won't get it. Osterman will just hold on. So it's once again, it was Illinois when Richter was creating for himself, they were able to get a goal. When they've had these stretches of just kind of taking these long shots from the blue line from the point, hasn't worked as well.
Hasn't worked as well, but they're getting a lot of these stretches. This is like the 5th or 6th time in this period that Illinois has had these chances. Bama are going to have to put 3 guys in front of the net. Illinois is trying to park guys in front of the net to get those deflections, but right now, most of their shots coming either from the left, right point, or they're just getting wrist shots in the high slot. Oh, that one almost deflected in.
Almost a good chance, but Osterman, a beautiful save.
Hit off the post, and then it hit off of Osterman. The puck was just crying to be put in the net there.
Illini dominating the draws so far today.
Not just the draws, they're just dominating this game, period.
Hey, Alabama 19 in the country, Illinois 7. They probably should be higher if they didn't get swept by Lindenwood 2 weeks ago. That's Joseph. And Joseph tries to clear over the blue line and neutral ice. Pass too far, though. And Messina gets that stick of Joseph. Joseph, the shot wide past Barnhart. That shot tipped by Ernsting against the Barnhart, but doesn't have to do much with it. Jack Graham tries to get it, but good forward check by Taylor Joseph, and then a great play with his stick by Bobby Ernsting to tap that one back. Stephen Quinn pressures. And Bama, they were all the way on this end of the ice, and Illinois' defense was able to get them all the way back on the other end without getting a single shot.
Yeah, and Bama had a chance there to develop something, but too hard of a pass going all the way to the defensive zone, and Illinois getting it right back. But let's see if Bama can maybe get something going right here with 3:45 to go.
Make Bama run all over this big ice surface at the big pond. You tire them out a bit, they already have a short lineup. Justin Reese over the block guy, over the blue. The men giving chase. Chance Homer goes for the center. He tries to get that centering pass to Homer, and there's going to be another penalty, so it's going to be the 2nd of the game. And it's going to be on the Crimson Tide. It looks like it's going to be sending Mark Demers to the box for 2 minutes for slashing. So they'll line out with 3:32 left in the first period, up by 1, and once again on the power play.
Yeah, last power play was really good for Illinois. Got around 8 shots off. We're able to keep the puck in the offensive zone for nearly the entire power play because Bama weren't able to clear it until like 10 seconds left. If they can score here, then Illinois will have a really good stamp on this period. A 2-goal lead is what they're going to be looking for.
Neil Novosel Jacob now on the draw. It's won again by the Illini, but then finally able to clear. Bama won the loss. cleared all the way back. So the Illini need to get something probably more going, more toward than that. Instead, just a lot of shots from the point on this power play.
While Illinois' offense has been really good, I don't know if Nick Fabrini is going to be too satisfied if Illinois is only up 1-0 after getting close to 30 shots off in this period, and is now a second power play.
Maybe not all those shots count as shots, but just a lot of pressure, making Osterman work a lot. While Barnard's had a fairly easy first. That shot from Nolan, and it gets in. It looks like it was off the redirect from Neil Novosel. It's 2-0 Illinois on the power play strike.
I think that's going to make Nick Fabrini a lot happier. That goal coming exactly on 17 minutes. Good redirect by Neil Novosel, and Illinois has just been dominant on offense. They've created all this pressure, and a goal really early into that power play, as they've just been able to just tear Bama's defense apart right now, and Osterman is going to have a really, really long night unless they make a goal. Kyle Richards could make a goaltending change.
Yeah, and the thing, that was basically what that line tried to do that first power play attempt, with Joe Nolan getting a shot from the point, getting that redirect opportunity. It didn't work then, but on the first time, this time around, Neil Novosel right in front, gets the rebound, puts it in the back of the net. Illinois up by 2, just under 3 minutes left to go in this first period. Friday Night Hockey, thank you for joining us on YouTube. The Illini looking to get back to their winning ways here at home after picking up their first home loss of the season last Saturday in overtime against Robert Morris.
Really good stick skill there from Thomas Kolas. He almost tried that center pass, getting it around his back too, but Tide looking to respond.
Bama with the breakout, that's Ryan Johnson. Johnson moves past the man, and then right in front of that, Tyler Opoka to help out his goaltender. And Illinois' defense is just so suffocating right now for the Tide. In front now again, number 97, Thomas Godfrey. Godfrey sent back to the near side board. So the Illini now allowing anything is center in the Evan Sabo completes the trifecta of great defense by the Illini, and now it's a steal for Illinois. Had to Sabo and neutral ice. Sabo to the corner, tries to center it for Tyler Opoka, but it's too far.
Yeah, and with Alabama, they've had a couple of spells on offense where they've had heavy touches with their sticks.
Tyler Opoka only had one man to beat. It was Dylan Tutt. Tutt with a nice active stick. 1:45 left to go. The Illini up by 2 in this first period. At the end boards, centering pass for Vino is far, and Turk has to give chase all the way back. Salk to Ricky Haddon into the seats. Oh, wow, there's a guy holding a baby.
Oh,
and
man, that was
that would have been
close.
one of those moments, you know.
That was close.
Could have been on ESPN twice in 2 days.
That guy in front there with a really, really good catch with that puck.
Yeah.
It's a little terrifying for me sometimes when the puck just flies into this crowd. It's so rare. We are high enough where it doesn't happen too frequently, but when it does, man, your heart kind of stops there for a second.
And usually with the rinks, you get higher boards. This is not typical here at the Big Pond. It's a difficult environment for Bama to play in as Osterman catches that one. And there's a lot of people here tonight. I don't know if you could tell based on the YouTube broadcast, but this is, at least on our side, it's full. And there's a nice crowd on the other side. And that makes this a tough place for visiting teams that haven't been here before to play.
And all season, Illinois has been drawing these crowds. They've had pretty much the entire Illinois Ice Arena almost full for most of these home games. And guess what? They've only lost once at home in overtime this entire season, undefeated on Friday night games in Champaign.
Now Novosel goal line shot wide to Mike Turk. Turk looking for that first point of the season. 1 minute remaining in the first period. The Illini up by 2. Goals by Neil Novosel and Drew Rucker to put that Illini up. Pass to Bowman. Bowman at the goal line, skating to the end boards. And a nice active stick once again by Mike Turk. He's making an impact now as well. That's Casper Riba. Riba ahead to Novosel. Here, check that forward far. Forward far going down the left circle, and will take it himself. Shot saved by Osterman. But I thought maybe Luke Forfar should drop that off to Riba, but what am I to say?
Yeah, I think Forfar needed some support there on the right point from one of his defensemen. He was going in for that shot, looking for that near post, but if someone was there, Illinois could have had another clear shot.
Joe Nolan, that shot from the point, looking for a deflection again. 12 seconds left. Now the Illini up by 2, and it's going to be in their offensive zone, but Bama with control of the puck. 7, 6, and 5. If Bama can clear it, the Illini won't have another chance to extend their first period lead. And offsides with 1.2 seconds left. That is the difference, I think, between these two teams in the nicest way, you know. You got a team that's really disciplined so far, and a team that can't get much going on offense has 2 penalties in the first.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say Illinois is going to go 4 consecutive regulation periods without a penalty. That's 80 minutes without a penalty. 80 minutes. Super impressive from the Illini, offensively, defensively. Just not a perfect period. The only thing they got to work on is probably the defenseman just passing it near the net, making sure that it's clear, getting it out. But other than that, a very, very good first period for Illinois.
Yeah, 1 period down the line with 2 goals. Even strength strike from Drew Richter all by himself, and then Joe Nolan on the power play, a shot, the redirect made by Nova Jake Barnhart. A great first period himself, the Illini. After 1, they're up by 2 against Alabama. You're watching Illini Hockey on YouTube.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity, you know the roof on fire. We go boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. We go drink drinks and take shots until we fall out like the roof on fire. Now, baby, get my booty naked, take off all your clothes and light the roof on fire. Tell her, baby, 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 I'm on fire. I tell her, baby, 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 I'm a fireball. Now big bang boogie, get that kitty little noogie in a nice little shave. I gave Susie a little pat up on the booty and she turned around and said, walk this way. I was born in a flame. Mama said that every word was my name. I'm the best you've ever had. If you think I'm burning out, I never am. I'm on fire. I'm on fireball. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but I don't care what y'all say. Cause as the world turns, y'all boys gon' learn that this shit go right here don't play. That boy's from the bottom of the map, MIA USA. I gave Susie a little pat up on the booty and she turned around and said, walk this way. I was born in a flame. Mama said that every word was my name. I'm the best you've ever had. If you think I'm burning out, I never am. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Fireball.
And welcome back to the Big Pond in Champaign, Illinois. Alongside Claire O'Brien and Patrick Catazone, I'm Sophia Morano, and this is your Illini Hockey Intermission Report, presented by WPGU 107.1 and YouTube. It's the end of the first period against number 19 Bama. Score is 2-0 Illini. And while Alabama saw 2 penalties this period, Illini got by with none. So this weekend, the number 7 Illini are taking a vacation from conference play, having lost to Lindenwood 2 weeks ago, and last week losing the second game of the series to Robert Morris, their first at-home loss this season. So I don't know about you guys, but I'd say the Illini really need this game just for a morale boost overall. And so far, I'd say it's looking pretty good for the team. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I was at that Robert Morris game, and let me tell you, they didn't play great. They didn't really look like the Illini. None of the lines really clicking at all. The first line probably looked the worst they have all year long in that one. So, and it came down to OT. They were able to come back in the third period, but the whole game, it just looked like a sloppy, slow game. It was Father's Weekend, so a little bit of a letdown. But that earlier game, the first game against Robert Morris, they played very well, like the team we've seen all year. And so far, looking right back at form, and this is a decent Alabama team. This is a team that if potentially could win this weekend and really get on a roll for the rest of the season. So hopefully the second period and third period looks more like this first period. What do you think, Claire?
Yeah, I was just going to say, to kind of back it up, also worth noting, Barnhart is getting his third consecutive start. He started both games last weekend, and he's starting tonight. So I think the Illini, a lot of what they're doing, I think, is just kind of, you know, playing with the same lines, just kind of building that team chemistry and just going for some consistency, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tonight, I would say that I've seen a lot better of an offense coming from the Illini.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of speed. They're really winning at the speed game here. A lot of connection between all the members. So we also have tonight John Moskaluk, one of the top players from the Illini, out with an injury. So how do you guys think they're doing making up for the loss?
I think the Illini, you know, like I said, I think tonight, you know, we're seeing more of an emphasis on the same lines. Like when there's line changes, it's everybody in, everybody out. So we're seeing more of that, more so than we've seen previously. So I think they're just kind of trying to make sure that everybody out there is comfortable and just keeping the offense going, even though Moskaluk isn't.
Yeah, and I think individual performances as well. In this game, Vince Vino obviously coming in. I thought he skated really well in that first half. He made a statement check right away in those first 3 minutes that definitely kind of set the tone for the Illini in this first period. You know, Moskaluk is out. He's our top goal scorer, so you know those individual people are going to step up. We saw those second and third lines really step up. Richter obviously coming off that third line with a great shot. He's an art goal scorer. He's one of the leaders of this team. Great shot out front, and Neil Novosel as well. He got a shot and he took it, and Alabama couldn't really do too much about that. So yeah, again, good production from the second and third lines, something that we wanted to see tonight, just because Moskaluk is first line as well might suffer from that too. So yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of go off that, usually the second line is the one that tends to have the most offense. They've had the most goals this season. So I think, you know, seeing that strong performance from the second line specifically really has kind of anchored the Illini tonight.
Yeah, so I would definitely say that right now the Illini are kind of trying to focus more on what they do best. You know, we kind of have the players. We see Quinn again, Bobby Ernstink, who hasn't scored any goals yet this season, but is doing really well with assists and kind of helping out the team there. It will also kind of try to polish up what they need to work on to get better, and then when they go against the rest of the teams for conference play, when they return next for the next couple of games. So what do you guys think are going to be the major takeaways that they're getting from Alabama that they're going to have to take with them if they want to do well in conference play and kind of pick up from where they've been struggling?
Yeah, I'd say offensive confidence is what probably the number one thing that we're going to get from this. Again, Robert Morris came that second night. Offense wasn't clicking. They almost got shut out. And that would have been terrible to happen at home, but they're fortunate enough to come back in that third period and then lose an OT. But if they could score a couple goals in this one and two in the first period, really impressive. We wanted to see at least one in the first period, getting some of that, like I said, offensive confidence back, and hopefully score a couple more goals in this one, try and end it like the MSU game earlier this year.
Yeah, and just kind of going off there, Robert Morris is an in-state rival. They're in the same conference, so you know, to lose in overtime, sudden death overtime, is quite difficult. So I think tonight they're just going to kind of build off that and just kind of get their momentum back and be a little more confident heading into the rest of the season.
Yeah, as well, it doesn't matter too much, but I wanted to just point this out. Robert Morris, a very hairy team. There's some long beards on Robert Morris, I have to say, and it was it's an impressive part of their game.
Yeah, it's definitely been a very disappointing couple of weeks for the Illini, and it just feels really good, I think, for the fans, for the team, for everybody, just to see this first period here. Already 2-0, no penalties. They've been really doing well getting no penalties, which is really great to see from this team. Definitely, I think they've really gotten a reality check the past couple of weeks. While they have been having a really successful first half, now we're kind of in the oh, now it's time to really get together and work on these weaknesses, and I think they're going to be in really good shape coming up for the rest of the game. So what do you guys hope to see next period?
I definitely want to see a good, clean second period from the Illini. Just keep up what they're doing, and I think they'll be golden.
Yeah, try and keep the shutout, I'd say, is definitely going to be a goal for Barnhart in this second period and third period as well. To go along with that, kind of have to find the perfect balance between aggressiveness and not getting penalties. It is the Big Pond, so there's always the argument that the Illini do well when they play 4-on-4 hockey, but I think they're right on that silver lining between aggression and penalties, and they're really making Alabama pay for the 2 power plays that they've given the Illini. So 2 things that we want to continue to see this year, because earlier this season on some of those power plays we weren't scoring on those goals. We weren't scoring goals, and just coming off the first power play and then scoring in the second power play, definitely a confidence booster for the Illini.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with that. It's been a very exciting first period. I can't wait to see what happens next period. So let's go back to break, and then we're going to hand it back over to Stephen and Ori for period 2. So once again, alongside Claire O'Brien and Patrick Catazone, I'm Sophia Morano, and this has been your Illini Hockey Intermission Report, presented by WPGU 107.1 and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back, and let's see what the boys do next.
Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want your sex and your affection when they're holding you close. 'Cause you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out, and when we wake we'd be the only sound. Get on my knees and say your prayer, change round. But I can make your hands clap. And I can make your hands clap. And I can make your hands clap. My flesh is searching for your worst and best, don't ever deny. I'm like a stranger, give me danger, all you're wrong and you're right. Secrets on Broadway through the freeway, you're a keeper of crimes. Feel no conviction, grapes of wrath can only sweeten your wine. But you don't even know I can make your hands clap. Said I can make your hands clap. Every night when the stars come out, am I the only living soul around? Need to believe you could hold me down, 'cause I'm in need of something good right now. We could be screaming till the sun comes out, and when we wake we'd be the only sound. Get on my knees and say your prayer, change round. But I can make your hands clap. And I can make your hands clap. And I can make your hands clap.
Welcome back to the Big Pond in Champaign, Illinois. Alongside Ori Benatar, I'm Stephen Cohen, and it's Illini Hockey presented by YouTube tonight. It's number 7 Illinois, number 19 Alabama. It's all good. Our video's coming right back. Just they just gotta press it. They will press it. How about Ori? You talk for a second. I'll get this fixed.
Yeah. So Illinois and Alabama. It's been a good first period. Illini up 2-0. Drew Richter getting a good shot. Power play goal from Neil Novosel as well. Just a dominant first period for the Illini, getting shots off. Lots of offensive pressure. Lots of stuff going on with them, and they've just had a ton going on offense. I mean, they had like 20, 25, 30 shots in that first period. A lot of work for Alabama's goaltender, Patrick Osterman. But Jake Barnhart has had to face those good chances from Alabama, but the Tide have just been unable to find that offensive momentum that they really need to do a lot of work on defense. And maybe this zammed up ice will help them out. A little bit cleaner now. Gonna need a much better second period if they want any chance of winning or tying this game.
I have the magic touch. It took the moment I went over to the camera and just pressed it again, the video came back.
Good for you.
Explain that.
Explain that. You just clearly have a gift of, take a camera, Steven, touch, video happens.
You know, the good news is that a few times this year now we've had to go back to the old-fashioned radio broadcast, and that's not as fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more familiar with that this year than you've been. I mean, the first hockey game, radio play-by-play, that's always a good time. But no, I mean, it's been a good game so far. I think Illinois, if they can keep up offensively, it's going to be, they can win this game 4-5-0 and have another ridiculously good Friday night game. I'm going to crunch some numbers while you talk now because I want to see how many goals Illinois have scored on Friday night.
Okay, well, I'll share some fun Alabama coaching staff stats, or facts. So Kyle Richards is their head coach, his second year in the position, third with the program. Jaron Jacobs is their assistant coach, third year in the program, second as an assistant. And then the assistant that's not here tonight is Eric Hudson. And the fun thing about him is that he was actually a player at Iowa State. So while he played against Illinois a lot, he was here a lot, so it's a shame that he's not here tonight. But he has experienced this environment, so he was able to probably tell the guys some things to get them ready for this game. But after one period to no avail, Alabama trails the Illini 2-0. Drew Richter and Neil Novosel, the two strikes for the Illini.
So I just did some number crunching, as I always do so well. So as of right now, Friday night home games, Illinois have scored 25 goals.
That's good. Well, no, we gotta make sure you gotta make sure you say that 10 of those came from
Michigan State.
4
against Illinois State. 3 against Central Oklahoma. But that was really
the Broncos.
Right. That was really 2. So because it was a shootout win.
Give them the third goal.
Fine. 6 against Robert Morris in the first game, and then 2 right now. So 25.
But that's the thing. So when Chris Johnson, our old play-by-play guy, and myself, we would always talk about this one thing. And it's how Illinois, they would come out great on Fridays. They're just a great Friday night team. But then you get to Saturdays and a completely different team. And so it's Illinois fighting that battle with themselves of being better on Saturdays and matching that same intensity. And once they get there, they're going to be a good team. But right now, it's a matter of the last Saturday night, they lose 2-1 to Robert Morris in overtime. And then you get maybe an effort like they did against Michigan State earlier in the year when they won 10-0 on a Saturday. So it's about Illinois playing this well on Fridays, but also on Saturdays, bringing the same intensity, being that same team.
They really do need to be that same team on Saturdays, and just based on the way Bama has been playing in this game, it looks like Illinois could get a sweep. But you never know. I mean, last weekend played Robert Morris, destroyed them on Friday. They put up a much better performance. So for Alabama, see what the Illini have in store. If Nick Fabrini wants to keep the game plan pretty similar, then I think that Kyle Richards can make some adjustments for this Tide team to maybe be more competitive.
And Chance Homer in his first goal of the season, not good. Had a really good shot right there, basically, in Illinois' first rush of the period.
Man, that could have been an easy goal for Chance Homer. I think he got a little too excited.
Yeah, that was. I even said his first goal. You know, I was not ready for Chance Homer to have such an easy opportunity, but shot a little high. Illinois going left to right here in the second period.
Yeah,
and they're gray sweaters. They're
right.
Cool.
I love the gray. I love
Alabama. No, continue what
shoes.
you were going to say. We can talk about the sweaters later.
Right. What I was going to say is, I mean, those are the moments for a hockey player. You got to be the most composed as a forward when you have that one-on-one chance, because you don't get those often. Where the
can't
defense,
blame him though.
When the defense makes that errant pass, you're there one-on-one. It's like in practice, and then sometimes you just get a little overexcited, a little over anxious, and you shoot it over the pipe. But Illinois picking up right where they left off. As
yeah, saved by Osterman. And Chance Homer last year, he had 6 total goals, 4 of those on the power play. The year before, when he was a freshman, he had 4 shorthanded goals, led the Illini in that stat. So Chance Homer, he's clutch. That's what it comes down to. When Illinois needs him to score a goal, he scores. And one right there to open up the season for him would have been terrific. But in 19-18, left to go in the second period. Bama going right to left in their crimson sweaters. And into neutral ice. That was where Illinois won the battle in the first period and sent all the way down. Mike Turk giving chase. Mike Turk, Charlie Salk in that third defensive pairing. It's also Paul Prekos, who has gotten some minutes as well tonight for the Illini. Salk's game behind his own goal, throws it up. It's Ricky Haddon. Haddon over the blue line. He stopped right there. It's going to be an offsides call on the Illini. So neutral zone draw. But hey, what kind of adjustment does Bama really need to make here in the second period? Because you said Kyle Richards can make those adjustments, but how can he combat what the Illini are doing right now? Because they're not letting Alabama get anywhere close to their own net.
Well, I think the defenders need to just try and force the guys towards the side. Right now, you're seeing the defensemen just kind of retreat, hang back, wait for those shots to come. If you're Bama as the defenseman, you got to try and attack those forward lines, force them to their wrong side to win that possession back. Because right now, Bama's defense has just had to hang back, and they're allowing Illinois to develop plays.
Maybe get like a odd man rush going or something. But right now, that puck's stuck in the corner and all the way back to the right point. Tyler Opuk with that pass. Bobby Ernstine. Ernstine still looking for the first goal of the season. It'd be amazing if Chance Homer scores before him. After Ernstine has played in every game. Opilka at the right point. Opilka, right circle. Stopped in front by number 96, Kalen Brie. Shot wide, blocked by Osterman, right blocker.
It's been block after block for Alabama from the defenseman and from Osterman.
Osterman, the freshman from Calgary, 7 games this year, 3-4 record, 4.47 goals against. Illinois looking for number 3. Bobby Ernstine, he finds the back net, the captain with his first goal of the season. 17:52 left to go in the second period. Illinois is up by 3.
We said he needed to score, and he did. Easy, high slot wrist shot from Bobby Ernstine. 11 points now, a goal and 10 assists for him. Illinois just having their way in this game against the Tide. 3-0 now, very early in the second period. And now it's just going to be whether or not Bama can contain them a little bit and not make this a real drought here at the Big Pond.
Yeah, this is when Alabama has to kind of make a rush, because now Illinois has got their scores going. You've got Drew Richter on the board today. You've got you got Bobby Ernstine. Where could that go from here? That's Bobby Ernstine's first goal of the season, entered tonight. 10 assists, 1 goal. No goals.
And make it 26 goals now on Fridays at the Illinois Ice Arena. And also the Illini keeping up that penalty-less streak, approaching 83 minutes.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because it's fascinating.
No, it's actually quite amazing. Illinois, because sometimes you just like luck into a penalty in the worst possible way, and you just like you accidentally like hook a man or something.
Fine. But I won't mention it for the rest of the period. And then
because let's see if it continues. If it gets to the third, then I think it starts to become a thing. 2 games without a penalty for Illinois, neutral ice.
4 periods is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that for an Illinois team, that is not something Illinois fans are used to seeing. A well-disciplined and well-oiled machine. At the far side half boards, Casper Ribba wearing 21. It was Mike Lindsay's number at the start of the year. Lindsay no longer on the team. Casper Ribba at the goal line. Tried to get a centering pass for Neil Novosel. Goes all the way back to neutral ice. Jack Graham. Graham to Nolan. And Nolan was trying to go for that 2-line pass, but too far all the way to the end boards. Pierre Alouette, that's a hockey name, if I've ever heard one.
We always get hockey names here. I mean, we always just get those ones where you're like, yep, it's a hockey name.
And just Alabama, 1 guy from Alabama on their team, 4 from Illinois, a bunch from Canada, a bunch from Massachusetts, all around the country with this team, except Alabama.
Really nice job by Chance Homer to keep that puck from going offside.
16:30 left to go in the second period. The Illini up by 3, and that's an icing call for Illinois.
Is that the first icing?
Second icing, I think.
Second icing.
But that's also a testament. Illinois has been able to set up an offense, and they haven't just had to dump it all the way down. They've been able to get offense going every single time they get the puck.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of 2-line passes. They're starting from the defensive zone, getting into the neutral zone, getting past that blue line. They've got 4 guys in that offensive zone already from that neutral zone. and they've been able to just set up so much. And here's Alabama trying to set up.
Kalen Breer, the Philly native. And it's a blocker saved by Jake Barnhart. It's Justin Reese now in a hat trick, the first game of the season, 1 goal since. Reese, home run. In the corner, and knocked away by Mark Demers. Demers over to Breer. Breer, 11 games, 2 goals, 5 assists so far this season.
And even though Jake Barnhart has not had too much work to do, he's had a lot of chances.
Yeah, no, another chance for the Illini. Drew Richter, that one tipped off his skate to the far side. If he wasn't able to corral that one, he might have had a chance home run opportunity in the center of the ice.
I think I should correct myself because I was saying as Richter potentially got a breakaway, how despite the fact that Jake Barnhart hasn't had faced too many chances, he has just kept his composure and cool and has been able to make these key saves despite Osterman having a much busier day in his net.
To Nick Price, haven't said his name much this year, tonight. Not able to clear that one, stays in the Illini zone. In neutral ice now. Charlie Salk at 3 shots from the point in the first period. Evan Sabo trying to center, drops it, shot, and another shot, and that was dislodged, but it will count. Evan Sabo on the rebound. Sabo, his 5th goal of the season.
Just using that speed, I thought Sabo was gonna get it in the slot there and get a shot off, but just falls for him. Makes a good decision to skate towards that post. Just an easy, easy goal, and Illinois piling it on now. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the second period, and now lead 4-0.
This is definitely the response Nick Fabrini wanted from his Illinois team tonight after the way things have kind of gone the past 2 weeks.
And in terms of just how well Illinois have played and also how competitive of an opponent Alabama is compared to the other teams they faced at home, this is definitely Illinois' best first going into second period. Their best start to a game, really, I think, all season at home, considering Michigan State's a D2 team. Illinois State not too competitive with the Illini. Had some struggles against Central Oklahoma and Robert Morris in the beginning of those games. I think this has been Illinois' best start at home this season.
That was Alabama wasn't able to get a single shot off, but they had the puck for a long time behind Illinois' net. On Evan Sabo's goal, it was the first career assist for Vince Avino, who had 1 goal in the opening weekend against the Spartans. A shot wide, Ricky Haddon. A glove save blocked away by Osterman. He's allowed 4 goals. Now he's allowed 4.47 on average this year, with a save percentage of 90. That certainly has gone down so far tonight.
And Illinois is not going to sit back here. They're going to keep going, and they're going to try and get as many as they can in this game. It's early. It's 4. This could get a lot wider unless something changes.
Yeah, offsides right there by the line. But yeah, 4 goals. Like that's not even that much. Alabama could come back, get 2 goals here, just kind of build a comeback. But Illinois, they need this. Especially against, they saw what Lindenwood did to them. I think it's Lindenwood's now #1 team in the country. That's what you aspire to be. Lindenwood was beating teams. They beat Robert Morris like twice, like 10-0 in a weekend. That should be what you aspire to be, especially against a good team like Alabama. That one shipped all the way to Barnhart, able to get a save, and then in front of him. Yeah, Barnhart has not faced that many difficult shots tonight, especially from like tight angles.
Yeah, not too many, but he's been making those saves now. But Bama actually starting to build some pressure.
Yep, the first shot, and it hits the back of the net. To Owlett at the left point. Owlett thought about a one-timer right there, but we'll just shoot on and save right there on the block guy for Jake Barnhart. And now we can talk about those jerseys for a sec, the sweaters, because now it's timely, and you like these.
I really like these. I think football and basketball should take a page out of Illinois hockey's book, just in terms of combination and just the look of the uniform. I love the gray.
You like the gray, okay.
I like the gray.
What about football when they wear the gray at homecoming?
Yeah, I think their gray's a little too dark. This is the one's a little bit lighter, but it works so well with the blue and the orange as well. I mean, Illinois have some awesome uniforms and just play like an awesome hockey team.
Yeah, I like the orange combo the most. But I also like the heritage uniforms they've worn a few times this year to honor the 60 years of Illini hockey with all the names.
Oh, you'll like that one. It's got your name on it.
No, it doesn't have my name.
I thought your name was on it.
No, there's someone else that's Cone on it. But it's not me. So I can take credit, though. I could, but I'm not that kind of guy. You know, Jack Rooney, Luke Forvar. Luke Forvar steals in the defensive zone. Forvar now going near side against the half boards into the corner. He stops, starts again. Forfar. Neil Novosel goes through his legs. A great keep by Mark Kendati.
Really good pass, too, from Kendati.
Shot wide, Osterman glove save into the chest. And that's the kind of shot from the point maybe that I'm more okay with from the blue line, because when it's that hard of a shot, well, Osterman 5 times out of 10, let's say, you might not be able to corral it, and you get a rebound opportunity.
Yeah, Novosel was right in front of him. That was a really good job by Osterman. Just kind of hits him in the gut, and he knew that one probably hurt a little bit. That was a hard shot.
Chance Homer, the junior from Pekin, Illinois. No goals, no assists yet this season, but you know he definitely wants to join the club. Get on there tonight. Justin Reese, great pressure right there to Borderman and knock him down. Yeah, it looks like that'll be. Looks like Justin Reese is going to be sent to the box. And that's going to be the Illini. There it is. There it is.
There it is.
Took about took 4.5 periods about.
So 87 minutes without a penalty, dating back to Saturday's game. So Justin Reese to the box, and for the first time in about a week, Illinois is going to have to be on a penalty kill.
It's a good thing Illinois is good on the PK. Always helps. But yeah, Justin Reese right there. Hey, it was a nice defensive play by him. But
yeah,
he also
definitely.
At the same time, took down his man, so had some hook and call. You know, the Illini have to play shorthanded for 2 minutes, where I'd love to see Chance Homer get a chance, because, again, like I said, this is where he might actually be best, just getting those breakaway opportunities.
This is the perfect opportunity for Alabama to try and develop something here, but Illinois could get a shorthanded goal.
Thomas Colas puts the moves past, one man drops it. Nolan Ernst over his second goal of the season, couldn't get there. Back to Joe Nolan.
It's a really good block by Nick Price.
Ryan Johnson. Johnson, far side, stops. I thought Johnson should have kept going in, not. Only had one man to beat. Back to Alouette, the right point. Alouette drops it for Bowman. Back to Johnson. Johnson at the goal line. To Alouette. Alouette shot, stopped in front by Jack Graham, and Bobby Ernsting the first to get to it. Ernsting will just clear it all the way down, 1:12 left to go, and they'll line and go for a change.
Been a slow power play so far for the Tide, only getting that one shot off now, just have a minute left.
Well, Illinois has been playing so fast all night that a 5-on-4 for Alabama, it feels like it's still the 5-on-5. And the one shot, and that one just a little bit wide for the Tide by number 89, Jack Rooney out of Burr Ridge, Illinois, another one of those Illinois natives. But that was the guy to play Jack Rooney's the trailer on that opportunity and able to maybe get Barnard caught off guard a bit, but still, Illinois' defense right in front of the net, really, really good.
And something that happens kind of often sometimes with Barnhart, whenever he's coming across his net, try and make a save in the crease, sometimes he dislodges the net with his leg. He did that time. It came to fruition last weekend, but he hasn't had too many of those times where he's had to come across his own crease and make a save, and that time he almost did.
Face-off won by the Tide, 11-12 left to go, 45 seconds left on Justin Reese's 2-minute minor. The shot in front saved by Barnard on the shot by Taylor Joseph. And we haven't had to say Taylor Joseph's name that many times so far tonight. He's got the team high 8 goals for the Tide, as well as 85 points over his first 2 seasons.
And that's something Illinois, I think, has done really well. They've held the top scorers of teams throughout the entire season, just having those hiccups against Lindenwood and on the road in North Dakota. And I think the fact that you're not saying Joseph's name too often just is a testament to how well Illinois has played defensively. But so far, this second portion of the power play for Alabama has been better. Yeah, they've been able to keep it in their offensive zone, but tried to clear it all the way down successfully. Tower Opilka all the way to Osterman. And Stephen Quinn throws a hit into Osterman, so Stephen Quinn, kind of the aggressor on this Illinois team, now in his final year with the program. 18 seconds left on the Bama power play. Pass in front, could handle a little too much hot sauce right there on Jack Rooney as he tried to get the pass. To Nick Messina, and in front, who else? Tyler Opilka with 5 seconds left and a chance now for Illinois. Stephen Quinn, just a little too far up. He would have had nobody to beat except the goaltender, but now we're back to even strength. So 5-on-5, Quinn tried to drop for Sabo in front, all the way in, almost the netting, but Stephen Quinn bats it back down. Quinn now, near side corner, tries to set it back out. And too far down. Wow, that was as a delayed penalty right now. So once Bama touches the puck, we will have a whistle. So the line is skating 6-on-5. So not a good sequence for Alabama as they went from a power play to being shorthanded without a whistle. Yeah, and Illinois is going to get a third power play, but they're going to try and score with 6 men on the ice here. But a sequence for Bama and Illinois with a lot of heavy touches. Both teams had really good chances to try and score.
Thomas Colas has the puck, but it's finally touched by Jack Rooney. So now Illinois back on the power play again, a chance to make it a 5-goal lead. And this is this could be kind of the game, kind of the, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of the not clincher, but just the nail in the coffin for tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean icing on the cake, whatever you want to say, something to finish
Why
it off.
couldn't I think of that word, icing on the cake?
Soccer announcers say it a lot, so that's why I'm so used to saying it, or just hearing it in general. But Illinois scored on their last power play, getting the goal from Novosel. We'll see if they can keep it up here.
It's won as a good battle after that draw for Bobby Ernsting Jacob now. At the point, Opilka over to Ernsting. Ernsting at the blue line at the point. Skating at the high slot, drop down, Drew Richter. Luke Forfar back to Ernsting. Ernsting far side, sets it to the point for Opilka. Opilka to Casper Ribba, the freshman. He's been sensational all season long. Opilka, Ernsting. A lot of passing Illinois trying to look for the open shot, and shot on by Bobby Ernsting. As the captain not able to get Ernsting back. He stops with the skate, calling for it to Opilka. Ernsting will take it himself. Ernsting pass to the goal line to Forfar. Forfar to Opilka. 1:20 left to go in that Illini power play. Casper Ribba circles. He finds Luke Forfar to Opilka again. Sound like a broken record at this point. Pass too wide for Luke Forfar. Over to Ernsting.
This puck movement's been tremendous from Illinois, but Alabama doing a good job to contain and
every
moving
pass
around.
on the tape. Bobby Ernsting looking for his second goal of the game, and he will. It's 5-0 Illinois on the captain's second goal of the season.
Yeah, Ernsting's having quite the game. He needed this. He's got 2 now. Nice little brace for him. Another power play goal for Illinois, and now it's 5-0, and they're on their way probably to a win here.
I've been doing this for 4 years now almost. That might have been my favorite power play that line I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama didn't clear it once.
No.
They just were passing and passing and passing. That was
61 seconds of passing, and nobody tried to like force a shot.
Right, and I want to get a count on how many passes that was. That was like 25, 30 passes before getting that goal by Bobby Ernsting, just wristing it in there past Osterman. That's just the stuff you want to see as a coach and the stuff you want to see as an Illini fan in general.
You can't stop that. That's like putting a Euro step on someone in bad. Like you could consider like a deep kind of. But just kind of having that move to get past the defense. If you're passing that well, you're going to get an open shot eventually. That's what Illinois was able to do.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful hockey. And Illinois' offense
has
been really good.
Steal, Evan Sable, one-man to beat the goaltender. It's a shot now. Not almost dislodged. Vince Savino looking for his second career goal. Shot wide by Jack Graham. Evan Sabo, great steal on the forecheck.
It's another giveaway from Bama, almost leading to a goal, but Osterman, really good job keeping his awareness.
Yeah, Evan Sabo's played great all season already. Has more goals this year, 5, than he had all of last season. Sabo at the end boards over to Ricky Haddon. Haddon tried to center it for Vince Avino. Who's playing forward tonight, has played defense most of the season so far. Jack Graham at the right circle, spins back that line, doing it again. Now it's 5-on-5. Joe Nolan to Jack Graham, his line mate this year. Graham shoots it from the point. It's deflected.
Sabo kind of blocked that shot. It didn't deflect the way he wanted to off of his stick, and it's been feeling like an Illinois power play, but how about now?
Andrew Durkin going the other way for the Tide, and it's into the netting, 7:44. I think that was deflected up by the Illini, but that's the best shot that Bama's had in minutes.
Best shot
That's
Bama's
the only
had.
shot they've had in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, but what a block by Evan Sabo. He gets a shot on the offensive end, just skates all the way down that right side, and just dives in for that block. Tremendous skating and awareness from Evan Sabo.
He's not the flashiest player,
no,
but he's a grinder, and that's what you look for in that fourth line. These guys are going to get 15 minutes of ice a game, maybe, or maybe like 12 minutes, and that's what you want from him.
That's what you look for everyone. It's just all about that grind.
Taylor Joseph. Caleb Joseph. Who's Caleb Joseph?
Someone.
I feel like that's a name
I've heard a name of Caleb Joseph
yeah,
before.
well, it's Taylor Joseph. He was shot into the netting, so Taylor Joseph out of Toronto, a 6'2 junior. And again, we haven't had to say his name much, and that's a good thing for Illinois.
And besides all the players from Illinois for Alabama, they got a couple Canadians on this team too.
Justin Reese took it from 3 Tide all by himself, skating through neutral ice. Pass back to Chance Homer, and still looking for that first point of the season. Opilka, that pass meets the boards, and now it's Taylor Joseph. Joseph tries to clear ahead to Rooney. Rooney spins, stays in that line, is off in the zone. Chance Homer knocks it down. And we'll see what the whistle is. With 7:08 left to go, the Illini up by 5. Doesn't look like it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, and I don't think it's another dislodged board like we had to deal with that one time that paused the game for 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, and never again. Never
please.
Again. Central Oklahoma game. That was a fun shootout we had in that game.
That was a great game.
The 30-minute delay with 2 minutes left was not a good time. Illinois having a good time tonight. That had passed ahead to them boards. Oh, almost into netting. Stayed in play somehow. And it's Taylor Joseph who dumps it ahead. And neutralized out that line at the first to get to it. And Bama can't cycle anything on offense.
And despite the fact that Illinois have scored 3 goals in this period, I think their offense has been a little choppier than it was in the first period. Besides that power play goal they scored with that Ernsting Rich shot. Not a lot of smooth passing in this second period for Illinois so far, but they're still playing really, really well.
No, completely agree with that. Illinois, they were cycling more. They just were setting up more offense in the first period, and that's why they had more shots. Right here, a shot and a glove save by Jake Barnard, but it's knocked away and pulled onto it. So I'll wet back at the left point. I'll finish my thought in a second about the Illini's more choppier offense. 6:15 left to go. It's at the end boards now. Bama actually maybe able to cycle a bit. Spinning pass ahead to number 19 Brian Sable out of Tampa, and the first to get to it though, Stephen Quinn without a stick, but that's the kind of play Stephen Quinn's going to give you, especially on that top line, an effort play where he was able to stop Bama's rush.
He was still trying to hit guys without a stick there.
Ryan Johnson shot blocker saved by Barnhart. That's Thomas Colas now going down to your side, bottom of your screen. Colas into the right circle.
Bama almost caught there with too many men on offense. It was a good opportunity for Illinois. Just had a lot of ice space, and now they get to set up once again.
Joey Salk to Casper Ribba. A shot from Salk from the point. Sure, Salk can do that. It's been a lot of shots though from the point still. Casper Ribba, goal line, behind. And Ribba tips ahead to Salk. Salk from the blue line again, and that shot, Osterman couldn't hold on to it, but
that's a good save.
Yeah, good save with a lot of traffic in front of him. Demers falls down on Casper Ribba. It's a loose puck. We'll see if that's a penalty on Demers. Looks like it will be. No. Just a whistle in our blind spot.
Just a whistle in our obvious blind spot here. It also doesn't help that we're both not the tallest folks in the broadcasting business. But even with the tall folks, you can't see anything. That Section D sign blocking us.
Oh, what a save! Jake Barnard off the draw. He just threw his glove up and it came in. The puck found it.
I said that his glove is his best feature as a goaltender, and that just showed it. I mean, that was a ridiculous save.
Man, he's not the flashiest goaltender. Also, someone like David Heflin last year for that line, I had a bunch of ridiculous saves. Jake Barnard, he's not going to give you that athleticism all the time, but he's not going to make mistakes. And a conference, as there's another whistle like the CSCHL, it's about just making the play, and that's what Jake Barnard always does, makes the solid play.
Right. And he has flashy saves here and there, but something he's also really good at, besides that glove side, he's really good at reading the puck as it's coming from the point, as teams try to get those deflected shots in, but Barnhart does such a good job reading it, and most of the time when you see him make saves from point shots from his opposition, he's either getting it into his midsection or in his glove.
Alongside Ori Bentor, I'm Stephen Cohn. Thank you for joining us. Illini Hockey on YouTube. The Illini up by 5-0 over the Alabama Crimson Tide. In this first of 2 games this weekend, Ricky Hedden on the rush after the Illini win the defensive zone draw. 4:35 left to go in the second period. Illinois is up by a handful. And they've been a handful so far for Alabama on offense all night. Another Alabama can't break out anything. It's Vince Savino looking for his second goal of the season. Can't get it. Good glove save by Osterman.
Yeah, we discussed a little bit about the offensive choppiness. I think Illinois have kind of smoothed it out a little bit in these last couple of minutes. But we'll have to see if they take their foot off the gas a little bit as this second period ends and we go into the third. It doesn't seem like they ever do.
Joe Nolan gets past one man and tried to drop it back. Ahead now. It's Jack Rudy. Rudy, 2-on-1. Rudy, the shot, and the goal! Number 7, Nick Messina out of Hinsdale, Illinois. His team high 16th point of the season off the redirect on the shot of Jack Rooney.
If one person was going to score Bama's goal tonight, first one, it was going to be Nick Messina. Had that easy 2-on-1. I think the Illini were just overconfident there with another offensive possession. Had all 5 guys there. Nolan had that good pass. It was errant, but Alabama, really good rush. Barnhart making that initial save, but really good job from Messina. If there's one thing forward should do, follow the shots of your teammates.
Yeah, that was kind of being the trailer, but I don't think he was expecting a pass. I think the entire time he knew that Rooney was going to take it. And the weak side then in the net was where Barnhart wasn't, and that's where Nick Messina was. So it's 5-1 now. Jake Barnhart's played a great game, though, but shutout number 3 is not in the cards for tonight. Stephen Quinn and number 15, Nicholas Zarcone, getting into it after. But now it's Alabama looking for their second goal in a minute. That shot by Joseph deflected.
Yeah, and Barnhart hasn't been able to get a shutout in quite some time. Illinois struggled a little bit defensively in the sense of trying to keep shutouts. Yeah, it's been a week. Oh, my bad.
Quite some time. It was one game.
Right, because I was thinking about, Illinois State, thinking about Michigan State. Road trips, they haven't been able to get shut out because they haven't won a game on the road yet. But, of course, last Friday did get that 3rd shutout. But they've been really separated. Illinois is just going to need to consistently try and get more shutouts. But in that instance there, it's 2-on-1. It's really hard to not concede.
Big 3 minutes, though, for the Illini to hold on to that 4-goal lead or extend it entering the second intermission. Nick Messina, that was his 8th goal of the season, also his 8th assist now as well. Drew Richter pressures a man. He has a goal tonight. He had the first for the Illini. Created it by himself, unassisted. Ahead, Alowet gives chase, and Alowet behind his own net. Good play by the Illini to pressure him as well, and they still can't clear it. And so they look like they're kind of playing offense in their defensive zone just because they have to be offensive to get out. It's kind of like a full court pressure the Illini implement in some way.
Right, yeah, pretty much. They just have to stay in that offensive zone and be able to develop. But you're starting to see Bama rush in on the Illini players more. They're not sitting back as often, and that's why I think Illinois offensively has been a little sloppier. Haven't had as many shots.
Casper Ribbon to Mike Turk, and then that shot in front deflected. A lot of traffic over there. Mike Turk the first to get to the puck. Mike Turk, his first game of the season after suffering an injury in the Illini's final exhibition against the Springfield Junior Blues. Dumped all the way ahead. Catches that fly puck as Jake Barnhart drops it back down. 2:45 left to go. The Illini up by 4 here in the second period. Friday Night Hockey on YouTube for the Illini. Neil Novosel, he had a goal tonight on Joe Nolan's power play redirect shot. Rubba boarded by a man, really pinned up against that board. And the centering pass ahead to Luke Forfar.
Haven't seen too many of those board scrambles between players.
Luke Forfar, the shot. Osterman couldn't save it. It was in front of him.
I think it hit off his shoulder, I think.
Yeah, that was, I think that's one Osterman would like to actually stop. And we'll see if the Illini are going to be charged with a penalty or just. Looks like it's going to stay at 5-on-5. Nobody will get the gate there, but yeah, I think we see right now with Patrick Osterman a little frustration also because he's had to face so many shots tonight. And you see Illinois' defense getting in front of their goaltender, Jake Barnhart, and helping him out, but Bama has not been the same story. Another shot, that one just wide left of Osterman.
Yeah, they hit the side netting.
It's been a long game for him, and they also have a backup goaltender, Garrett Kingsbury. He's the only other goaltender that made the trip for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, but Osterman hasn't given up. He's still come out and made some really good saves despite giving up 5 goals so far.
Jacob now took it all by himself. The Now family, I think, sitting over there to our left. You see the Teeds also on your screen right now.
It's like we're in Tuscaloosa right now.
Yeah, well, you know, when they have so many Illini, or when they have so many Illinois natives on their team, this is their chance to come watch. Jack Graham, the pass, and the shot, it's good. Evan Sabo, his second goal of the game. It's 6-1 Illinois.
Really good movement from Jack Graham. Just going to that goal line, finding Sabo. Perfect shot there from Sabo, first time, getting an upper 90. And for the second Friday in a row, Illinois have scored 6.
Evan Sabo, that's his 6th goal of the season. Last year, he had 5 points all season long. 3 goals, 2 assists in 29 games. His second year his third year now at Illinois from Illinois State. He has been excellent.
He's been excellent. Illinois has been excellent, and even without their top goal scorer, John Moslak, on the ice, they've made up for it. 6 goals in 2 periods, just 1 penalty for Illinois. It's been a really, really good 40 minutes here for the Illini.
How about adding a more to it? Stephen Quinn sticked away by number 15, Nicholas Zarcone. Mark Gandati from the point, blocked by Saracena, and all the way up into the seats. Looks like it didn't hit anyone, but again,
Oh my God.
They're making sure he's okay up there. There's some good friends.
I hate when the puck goes into the crowd. It just like, I stop for a second. I'm like, oh, what happened? I want to make sure everyone's okay. I think they're fine.
It can't be as bad as my first game 2 years ago. I'm in the penalty box. It didn't have full glass back then. I have a broken arm, and I get hit with a puck.
That's fun.
That's what you could say. That's one way to put it. Thomas Colas, that shot deflected wide, far.
It's the only way to put it.
One Alabama player right now without one glove. Oh, it's Zarcone, and he's the one with it right now. Oh, that's a dangerous play. He's really being physical with only one glove. Touched the puck twice. 37 seconds left to go in the period. Tyler Opilka. Thomas Colas, covered by Zarcone.
Ernstine looking for a hat trick there on that pass.
Messina tried to get to that quick, but Jake Barnard leaves his crease and makes a play on the puck. 20 seconds left now. Barnard back. A shot deflected by Tyler Opilka. It looks like he jumped a little bit to knock it down. 13 seconds. The line, one more rush. Drew Richter going through center ice. Over the block eye, over the blue. Richter, 8 seconds. Drops it for Mark Gandati. Gandati shoots. It's high. Stephen Quinn with 3 seconds. One more chance at center. He will not. It will end on Saracena's stick. And that's how the second period of play comes to an end. The Illini add 4 more goals. Alabama only puts 1 on the board. And after 2, it's 6-1.
Really, really good second period as well. Not as smooth offensively for Illinois, but when they had chances, they capitalized on them, and we're going to see if they're going to try and get more. And one thing I did want to mention, as the glove was sitting on the ice, it just seems like whenever hockey players lose a piece of their equipment, they just get tougher, whether it's their helmet, their glove, their stick. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to hit guys. I'm just going to try and score with my one hand. So just love to see the tenacity, and Bama giving it a good effort here. Down by 5, but they're going to come back out on this ice for the third period. And
just want to point this out right now. You can't see Alabama's nets, but you got Thomas Godfrey and a few Jack Rooney. You also got Garrett Kingsbury, their backup goaltender. Altoin Osterman giving him some words of support, it looks like. And I think that's the kind of thing a goaltender needs after allowing 6 goals in 2 periods.
And he still played a really good game. He's faced a lot of shots. I mean, when you face close to 40, 45 shots, you're bound to give up goals. Illinois' offense has just been able to be really, really good precision-wise with their shooting. And despite Osterman giving up 6 goals in those first 2 periods, I think he still played a really good game.
Well, we're not done yet anyways. 20 more minutes of Illini hockey coming up for Ori. I'm Steven. We have the second period intermission coming up. Illini hockey on YouTube.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking to find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride and shit. I'm straight. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Get up my way. I'm running late. What can I say? I heard you die twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time it's
Yep. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's intermission report brought to you by WPGU 107.1 in YouTube. I'm Claire O'Brien alongside Patrick Catazone and Sophia Moreno. So guys, there's been a lot of differences between the two periods, and the Illini so the Illini have scored 4 goals. Richter scored 2 goals tonight, and in the second period, Sabo scored 2 goals as well. So what are your thoughts on that, Patrick and Sophia?
All right, well, I gotta say, I think my favorite moment of this season so far, Bobby Ernsting, Illini captain, getting his first 2 goals of the season. It was just a really great thing to see. I was hoping to see an Ernsting goal at some point in this game, and just finally getting to see his efforts kind of capitalize, and he gets not 1 but 2, doing really well, scoring on the power play. Evan Sabo getting 2 goals on the comeback from last year, where he only had, I believe, 5 points overall. Now he has 6 goals so far in the season. It's just been really, really impressive to see these players kind of come up and do well.
Yeah, we talked. I know you, Claire and I both talked. While we were watching this game, and all lines have scored, which is very impressive. Along with the 4th line scoring twice, it's Evan Sabo scoring twice. Really impressive. We kind of talked at the beginning of the game. We really wanted to see a lot from this Illini team, and I think so far we have seen a lot. So hopefully we'll continue to get a couple more goals for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And also, the Illini picked up a penalty. Reeves was sent to the box. So the Illini are, so both teams have been sent to the box, and Alabama also made a trip to the penalty box. Do you guys think that the second period was defensively stronger than the first?
I would have to say honestly, I haven't noticed much difference in the defense, but I do think they have been very strong this period. Jake Barnhart has been doing really well the entire game, honestly, with the glove saves. Granted, Bama was able to score in the period. However, I've still been seeing some really great saves from him, even for it being a relatively easy night for the Illini defensively. I think it's been going really well. If anything, I think the offense is kind of where they started to struggle a little bit more. Bama's kind of really going at it. They're definitely not one to just go down without a fight, but it is really nice to see the Illini kind of getting to dominate a little bit more here. What do you think, Patrick?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the defense has been better in the second period. They did get caught in a 2-on-1 situation, which resulted in Messina scoring, which, by the way, don't like seeing that. He's from a rival high school of mine, my old high school, Hinsdale Central. So, interesting enough, he's playing for Alabama, too. But anyways, didn't like to see the 2-on-1 opportunity. Can't really let those happen. Can't really blame Barnhart for that, because it was a good shot, and they put it right behind him. So, he gets caught in that 2-on-1, but, the defense does have a lot of insurance going for him, so, don't expect too much bad from them in the third period.
And then also, yeah, tonight every single line has scored, like you said, Patrick. What does that mean for the Illini in tonight's game, and then in the context of future games and the rest of the season?
Well, I would say just in general, this is a very good omen for the Illini. I think this is just a really good sign that this team has some really strong players, instead of before, where I think they were kind of starting to rely a little bit more on key players like Casper Ribba and Stephen Quinn, and not for nothing, and Thomas Colas too. Not for nothing, they are great players. However, you do kind of need to build up the supporting players a little bit more, and I really like how in this game we get to see a lot more from them. Even just without the goals, for example, I know Bobby Ernsting, he's really good at being a supportive offensive man, kind of going at it and then being able to support his teammates. And I just think seeing every line score is just a really good sign that they really are starting to improve upon everybody's skills, and it's going to be a really good rest of the season.
Yeah. stepping up when you need to. You know, Moskaluk isn't in this game tonight, so I'm really glad, honestly, to see, like you said, the fourth line really step up. That's something we really haven't seen too much. Mostly Evan Sabo, obviously, with 2 goals. But even Avino's been skating pretty well in this game, too. And I'd like to mention this. Hasn't really happened a lot this year, but anytime we get a rebound off the puck, Illini are throwing it right back to the center of the ice, and they're getting opportunities off those. I'd like to see that a lot more for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And then also, Moskaluk is tied with Richter and Ernstine for having the second most amount of points on the team this year. So who do you think is playing very well tonight in place of Moskaluk?
Well, I would have to say, I think that you obviously got to give it to Ernstine. Again, he got the 2 goals, and then besides the goals, like I said before, he's really good just offensively as being a support. He works really well with Stephen Quinn, in that he's able to kind of help him out there. So I would say he's really managed to step it up in Moskaluk's absence, and I honestly got to say that I was a little worried going into this, thinking that Moskaluk's absence would kind of hurt the team a little bit, but it's been going really well.
Yeah, anytime that a player goes down and you lose one of your best scorers, you want to go to your captain, who's supposed to be there to pick it up for you. So, again, glad that he's been vocal and leading this team in this game. And it's really just been an all-around dominant game. Every line stepped up. Can't emphasize that enough. And the captain was there when they needed him. So that's what we're going to have, hopefully, going into this third period. And Lions should be able, with the way the defense has been playing, finish this game out. No shutout. I was hoping to get that, but if we could stick to 1, that'd be good for the Illini.
The Illini are up by 5, but they didn't get the shutout. What do you think we're going to expect from them in the third period? Every line has scored. Usually the second line is the strongest. Which line do you think is going to score in the third or make the most impact in general?
That's a good question. I would say in the third period, we're probably still going to see a lot from the first line. I think they've been doing really well overall, and I think we might see the defense kind of try to keep stepping it up. You know, we don't want to see more goals from Bama. They were already able to get by with that 1 in the second period. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see some really good physical power between Bama and the Illini, kind of getting to heat up in this third period. We haven't seen too much of that yet these first 2 periods, but I think now that the Illini are up so much, and I think Bama, they're not gonna, like I said, they're not going to go down without a fight. So I think it should be a really exciting next period.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should see, basically we've seen the whole entire game just a dominant Illini team, but I'm trying to think any line that I particularly think that will do well. I feel like that third line is really the heart and the soul, I think, of his team, and whenever they go down, they're not playing well. The team kind of follows suit, so I'm going to say that third line has really been playing great tonight, and we'll see more from them this third period.
Well, that does it for the second period intermission report. For Sophia Moreno and Patrick Catazone, I'm Claire O'Brien. We'll turn it back over to Steven and Ori for the third period.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. to my house. It's my house.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Yes, I can. Doubt better leave. I'm running with this plan. Pull me, grab me, crabs in the bucket can't have me. I'll be the president one day. January 1st. Oh, you like that gossip? Like you the one drinking what gossip.com. Now I got a word for your tongue. How many Rolling Stones you want? Yeah, I got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like the wind in my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I wanna play back. Mama knew I was a needle in a haystack. I'm a body boy, plus way back. I got a feeling it's a rap. ASAP.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
And welcome back to the Big Pond. 20 more minutes of Illini hockey tonight. They're up 6-1 over the Alabama Crimson Tide after 2 periods of play. Alongside Ori Benatar, I'm Stephen Cohn. Thank you for joining us on Illini Hockey, presented by YouTube. This has been maybe one of Illinois' most complete outings of the season because you look at the opponent, it's a ranked opponent. When Illinois was blowing out teams early in the year, it was Michigan State and Illinois State. Michigan State, Division II. Illinois State, not one of the best Division I teams by any means. Tonight, you got a good Alabama team, another bench, a team you haven't seen really before, and you're outplaying them totally tonight.
Completely. They're outplaying them defensively, offensively. I wouldn't say goaltending-wise, as it looks like Alabama have made a goaltending change. They are giving
Garrett Kingsbury.
a chance to play the sophomore from Bakersfield, California, coming in after Patrick Osterman gave up 6 through 2 periods. But with Illinois, besides I mentioned at the beginning of the game, they needed variety on offense. I think they've done that. They've had shots from the point. They've gone through the slot. They're going to the goal line. They've had goals in so many different ways. 2 on the power play, and their shots have been precise. They made Osterman work and defense, and they've been starting from defense. They're getting quick passes, probably 2 or 3 passes before they hit the offensive zone, allowing people to come and trail in, getting 5 guys in the offensive zone to plan out those plays and be precise. They did that a ton in the first, had a bit of trouble with it in the second, but the second period, the story on offense was the precise shooting, getting those 4 goals.
With those goaltenders, Jake Barnard going to be allowed, it looks like, to finish off what he started today. Donovan Bird, the backup for that line today. Garrett Kingsbury in the other nets as Alabama will go left to right in this third period. Kingsbury, 5 games played this year, 2-1 overall, 3.01 goals allowed against, and he's a better save percentage than Osterman at .915. But Osterman, the starter all season, but Kingsbury also a young goaltender, a sophomore. He didn't get that many opportunities last year, so again, it's all about these Bama guys right now. I think they assume, they have a feeling that they're going to make the ACHA National Tournament this year. It's about finding who's going to be the right guy. Tonight, it wasn't Osterman. We'll see if Garrett Kingsbury could shut down the Illini for a period. Third period underway here at the Big Pond inside the Illinois Ice Arena in Champaign. And that pass, cross-ice pass too far, and Stephen Quinn to it fast. So what you were saying before is the Illini going to keep the foot on the pedal here, and no reason not to.
I think they definitely will. We could see a lot more goals in this game as Bama get a shot early on. Good to see Bama just 20 seconds in get some offensive presence. They haven't been able to do that in those first 2 periods. And for Alabama, when you're down 5 goals, it's obviously very difficult to come back. So I think they're just going to look to improve those offensive possessions. If they can get 2, maybe 3 goals in this period, I would say it's a successful third period for them. But in general, just look for those adjustments to come back tomorrow here to the Big Pond and maybe try and steal a win.
Yeah, that's as this puck played back, Stephen Quinn now, and trailer Thomas Cole as Quinn stopped. Puck knocked away all the way back down. What I was about to say was that the computer rankings that are made for the ACHA, they have Alabama at 19th. If Bama can steal one of these two games this weekend as Thomas Colas goes ahead, that would be huge for the Tide going forward. So I think work for tomorrow, try to make some adjustments as that pass ahead shot in front of Garrett Kingsbury. Going another way, Jack Rooney. And Rooney tried to pass it to himself, but it was knocked away by Mike Turek, who's in his first game of the season.
Yeah, kind of whiffed on that shot, but this has been a good first minute for Alabama. They've done really well defensively, and they're actually getting some rushes going. See if they can keep that up here in this third period.
That one, Alouette, great glove save, Jake Barnhart. Wow.
It's like glue. I mean, anytime the puck is anywhere near Jake Barnhart's glove, it's just going to go in there. It's its home. The puck just finds its way into Jake Barnhart's glove. He always makes those catches. And if you're Alabama or any team facing the Illini, look to shoot on Barnhart's on his blocker side. That's probably the best way to get goals.
He's still good there too, but yeah, no, his glove is great. And with Pierre Alouette, he hasn't had that many shots tonight. He's made his presence felt mostly in the defensive end, but he's Alabama's best two-way defenseman. 75 career points here now in his junior season. 3 goals, 6 assists this year. Illinois has not only kept like Taylor Joseph off the scoreboard, except for the 1 assist. They've done a nice job of shutting down Alouette on the D. Illinois chipped it all the way ahead to Garrett Kingsbury, the sophomore from Bakersfield. 18:28 left to go. That's Joseph and Casper Riba heading to the box, so 1:40 left to the Illini being shorthanded. Their second penalty of the game. That was your big theme entering tonight.
Yeah, they went 4 straight periods without a penalty, but still only 2 tonight, but now a shorthanded chance.
Pass intercepted by Ernsting has 2 goals tonight, maybe 1. We're still some disagreements about that, but we'll get those stats finalized under the game. Jack Rudy skating all the way up and then throws it back to Alouette. Alouette uses the boards with the pass to find number 11, Dylan Teed. It's Alouette to Rooney. Rooney shot on wide.
Yeah, Rooney's, I think, been one of Alabama's best players tonight, or another really good chance there.
Alouette, another wide shot. The pass back on Messina. Messina has the 1 goal for the Tide. Now, Alabama's got some weapons on offense. They got some big scorers, but Illinois has really diminished any effect they could have on the offensive end. 1 man to beat, it's the goaltender for Thomas Colas. 40 seconds left, and Colas able to stop it. That was not a good pass from Garrett Kingsbury as he tried to clear the puck. 17:20 left to go. 35 seconds of the Illini being shorthanded on the 2-man minor for Casper Riba.
Yeah, but a good string from Bama there on the power play, getting 3 consecutive shots off. They just weren't able to get anything on target. This has been their best power play, might be their best offensive string in this game, with their 1 goal coming on a 2-on-1 breakaway.
Evan Sabo, he has 2 goals tonight. He's pressuring Jacob now. Evan Sabo 6 goals now this season, and he gets a steal behind that. Looking for the hat trick. It's still in play. Evan Sabo. He's at the near side half boards in our blind spots. Thrown back to Mark Condati. Condati to Opilka. Evan Sabo, he's on hat trick watch as they line it back to even strength as Casper Riba heads to the bench. And almost intercepted in front of the net by Vince Avino. And now back on Avino's stick. Avino's shot on Kingsbury, couldn't get the save, but he blocks it away to his left side. Ricky Haddon gives chase. And then it looks like that one was going to be tipped outside. So whistle, 16:26 left to go, 6-1 Illinois. If there's one thing you still want to see from the Illini in the next 16 minutes, what is it? Because it's been a pretty complete game from the Illinois.
I think I probably want to see maybe a little bit more in terms of hits. I think both teams, there's been a lot of teams that have come to the Big Pond that have been really, really aggressive, and we've had, some scuffles, some punches thrown. Saw that last weekend, saw that with Central Oklahoma coming to town. This game hasn't been too chippy, but in terms of the Illini, maybe just a little bit more physicality on defense. Maybe not a hit that's going to send someone down and get him injured, obviously, but just maybe a little bit more physicality. But you only want to see that in a situation where a team is really, really competitive, and so far Alabama just hasn't been that today.
Yeah, there's been the 1-hit Drew Richter in neutral ice, the far side boards, basically at the scorer's box. Other than that, though, it's been a very calm, collected game for the most part, which is a good thing.
Right, calm game. Whenever the puck is frozen or just sitting there, we haven't had too many guys just going at each other, which is just great to see. Makes the game flow better, makes it go faster.
Yeah, 9:20 right now. It's a 7:30 p.m. start on Friday nights. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for that puck drop as the Illini presumably go for the sweep, assuming they can hold on to a 5-goal lead the next 15 minutes. Neutral ice chance Homer looking for his first point of the season. And Homer shoots it on. Deflected rebound chance by Casper Riba. Casper Riba's everywhere with the puck. He just has a knack for finding the puck.
Right, he hasn't been too active in this game, hasn't had too many chances.
There, Casper Riba throws a hit.
Yeah, there's a hit there. That's probably the biggest play he's had all game. But Bama now with some good movement.
And Fred net at the goal line now with the end boards. And the Luke Forfar going to lead the rush. Forfar to Riba. Riba just off the tape of his stick. Just a little too far.
I think that's one thing Illinois have had trouble with throughout the game. A couple times those passes past that blue line. Just some heavy touches as those guys are trying to get it from the stick. Besides the heavy touches, the passes are just a little bit too ahead of them.
Jack Graham, the shot from the left point by Joe Nolan dislodges the net as it hit the post. But that's also, okay, we haven't talked that much about Joe Nolan tonight. He had the one assist as there's 14:47 left to go in the game. They're lining up by 5. They got to set up Joe Nolan more because that's when he's dangerous. Those shots, those one-timers, those slap shots, that's where Joe Nolan's going to get his bread and butter.
And his eyes probably lit up when he saw that shot coming. A lot of open net there at that near post from that left circle. Really good chance for Joe Nolan, just couldn't get it on target.
And if you're Alabama, you can't leave Joe Nolan with that much ice in front of him. You got to have someone there to take the block.
Well, for any team playing Illinois, you can't allow most of their players to have open ice. For Nolan, Graham can get those shots off. Opilka might not shoot too much from the blue line, but he creates so much offense. And then, of course, you've got so many guys on this Illinois team that offensively are just so good and have such good variety. The likes of Riba and Richter and Ernsting and Forfar. So many weapons on this Illinois team coming off of a season where they were runners-up in the ACHA, and they're going to look to do even better as the year moves on. Still a long season to go.
Jeremy Hanna heads to the penalty box. Bama's assistant captain, Kyle Richards, looks for an explanation. We'll look for that one, too. But the Illini, again, will be on the power play. 2 power play goals so far tonight, including on the last one, when I thought it was one of their best power play units ever that I've seen. It actually looks like it might be a major, so it's going to be... It's going to still be 5-5, but Jeremy Hanna in the penalty box right now, 14:44 left to go. A 10-minute misconduct for Jeremy Hanna, so his temper's starting to blow over as well. So Jeremy Hanna ineligible to play for the next 10 minutes, which will take them to about under 5 minutes left in the game.
Tough for Bama. They're going to play with a man down, and just in terms of their rotation and their line changes. So a couple of guys are just going to have to stay on the ice a little bit longer for the Tide here at the end of this game.
Joseph Saracena, and it's a good active stick by Jack Graham to knock that one, poke that one away. Just over 14 minutes left to go alongside Ori Benatar. I'm Stephen Cohn. You're watching Illini Hockey on YouTube.
Oh, what a pass. Oh,
offsides. Great two-line pass. Who was that, Joe Nolan?
I think Novosel actually maybe passed that.
See, okay, so then we always got to give the Neil Novosel story. It's just he scored tonight, so you got to say it. He was on the D2 team as a freshman, and the D2 team plays their games at like midnight sometimes. There's not that many people here at the Big Pond. They got some like girlfriends watching or something like that. And I think it's bumped up to the D1 team, and he just enjoys it so much, but also he's made such an impact, and I don't think anyone expected a guy that really was just a contributor at the D2 level to make such an impact at the D1 team.
And it's also, I think it's underratedly just so much fun to just come into an ice arena or just go to anything, play some sports at midnight.
Bobby Ernsting pass and a goal on the power play.
What a goal.
Thomas Colas, it was even strength, but what a pass.
Bobby Ernsting had that pass. 11th assist of the season. Colas, tremendous speed, skating right to the point. That was just an artistically perfect through pass there from Bobby Ernsting. Colas finishing it off. And they got 7.
Wow, they set up. Ernsting set up Thomas Colas perfectly. Colas skated toward the net, and that passed right where he needed it to get past Garrett Kingsbury for the Illini's first goal here in the third period.
That's probably been the best goal of the evening. 8 to choose from. I think that one was the prettiest one. Oh, I mean, I just can't get over how good that pass was, and now we've got a Germany-Brazil situation here, 7-1. You know I'm going to throw a soccer reference in there.
How long have you been waiting to use that?
Not that long.
You want to explain the reference to anyone that doesn't understand?
Anyone,
it's a hockey crowd.
Any non-soccer people, anyone who doesn't watch the World Cup. In 2014, it was a semifinal. Germany beat Brazil 7-1, but a penalty for Thomas Colas.
Colas, he scores a goal, gets sent to the penalty box, so the Illini will now actually be shorthanded. I said it was a power play before, but it was that was during the 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah.
for Jeremy Hanna, but it was 5-5, so mine meant bad. But no, continue your story.
Yeah, I mean, basically Germany beat Brazil 7-1 in a World Cup semifinal. For me, still the most shocked I've ever been watching any sporting event in my entire life. So it's 7-1 now, so that's why I had to throw that one in there. If it's 43-8, I'll throw in a Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl reference.
I would like that. Oh, that shot in front of Jake Barnard. He was shielded by Ryan Johnson, but a great job of Jake Barnard staying with that puck. And that was one of the more difficult shots he's had to stop tonight because Illinois has done a nice job of making sure diffusing that pressure in front of the net.
And they've done a good job of that overall. I mean, Alabama, I think every power play they've had, this is just their third one tonight. They've improved each time. First power play, they just weren't able to get too many shots off. Second one, they created some good offensive momentum. But this one,
Maybe a shortened opportunity.
Yeah.
Luke Forfar goes around one man. Forfar loses the puck at the goal line now, and then takes a big hit into the boards from number 86. Check that 88, Andrew Durkin.
And that's one thing that's happened with Bama throughout their power plays today. Illinois has had a couple rushes shorthanded. No shorthanded goals, but their penalty kill has been perfect tonight.
Alouette finds Nick Price. Price chips that one ahead. First to get to it is Mike Turk. Turk dumps it all the way down. And Kingsbury will hold on to it, which is going to give the Illini an offensive zone draw shorthanded. And so Garrett Kingsbury I'm not going to question it, but a questionable choice. I thought he was like kind of hovering over it for a second. I thought he would just like kind of push it to his side at the last second. But now he's got to face the wrath of Thomas Coas.
And this is his sixth appearance this season, coming in with a 2-1 record. His goals against average is lower, but that's just probably because he has a lot less game time than Patrick Osterman.
Or he's played teams that might not have been as good, because Osterman's the #1 goaltender for this team. Nick Price, check the 96 Kalen Briere. That shot high into the corner. 12:15 left to go. The Illini up by 6, looking to add the extra point to the lead. They already have the touchdown. Briere, a whistle in the right point with 12:06 left to go.
Yeah, I mean, you say touchdown. I mean, so often we see Alabama in whatever setting.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
It seems they have 7 points almost immediately, and you have Illinois here. Not points, but goals. That's just one of my pet peeves of mine, saying points in hockey or in soccer or in baseball. It's goals or runs.
Chance Omerin. Taylor Joseph. It's won by that Illini, thrown all the way down under 12 minutes to go now. 25 seconds left on Thomas Coas' 2-minute minor. So the Illini continue to play shorthanded. Hasn't been a problem yet tonight. Skating through 2 minutes, Kalen Briere.
Briere just skating through everyone there and then just taking down Jack Graham.
And Taylor Joseph, the centering pass in front. Casper Urban does a nice job of using an active stick, getting that puck away, and tries to clear it down to the right point. Back to 5-on-5. As Thomas Coas comes back onto the ice, off goes Casper Urban. That's Teed. Dylan Teed. Good play by Joe Nolan in front of his own netminder to block that one away.
I think Nick Fabrini will be happy. 2 for 3 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight for the Illini.
Hey, that's where special teams, when you get the playoff time, that's what's going to win games. And when you're playing a rigged team and you're basically converting every opportunity you can, not a bad game. Stephen Quinn to Jack Graham, to Joe Nolan. Under 11 minutes now. Jack Graham the point. Pressured. And he uses the boards. Finds Thomas Coas. Coas takes a hit at the end boards behind the net. Bobby Ernstang, that shot, and Stephen Quinn on the rebound. 8-1 Illinois. Stephen Quinn, his 7th goal of the season.
Puck was just kind of flopping around in the air there and finally just got touched. And it is by Stephen Quinn, as this first line for Illinois has been really, really good. I mean, let's face it, every line for Illinois has been really, really good. And for me, this has been their best performance this season.
Yeah, shout out to Claire O'Brien, who noted that every Illinois line had scored in the first 2 periods tonight, and now they've added 2 more here in this third from a few different lines as well. So Illinois just really piling it on, but it's up and down the lineup, and that's what you like to see.
Up and down the lineup, and they're getting 8 goals against a top 20 team in the country. This is really going to help their ranking.
Shot wide, hits the back of the net by Ricky Haddon. Devin Sabo still looking for that hat trick. That'd be huge for him. Haddon. Near side, 10:20 left to go. Illinois up 8-1 now over Alabama. Number 19 in the country offsides for the Tide, and it'll go all the way back down.
And what's important for the Illini, even though they've had a tougher time winning on Saturdays here at the Big Pond, sure, you're not going to win back-to-back games 8-1 usually against a top 20 team, but if the Illini can just keep up this offensive variance and diversity, I mean, this is an onslaught, but if they can keep that up going tomorrow, they should be sweeping this Alabama team. But we saw last week Illinois piling it on a Friday, and then their opponent, Robert Morris, was able to adjust. So we'll see if Alabama can adjust tomorrow, but it's going to take a lot of adjustment.
4-4. Wow. Gasp.
What happened to your voice there?
Oh, my. No, we're not going to talk about that one. We're halfway through the third.
Oh, my God. No, I can't stop laughing after that one.
Couldn't get the keep. We're just going to move on past that.
Your voice kind of broke and then turned into Bruce Wayne there.
Luke Forfar skated through the center of the ice. Chipped away, and blocker save by Kingsbury.
Kingsbury's done a good job in the past couple of minutes making some saves. I mean, the 2 goals he's given up.
How about Paul Prigos looking to find the back of the net? He couldn't, save by Kingsbury. Forfar, and then over Forfar goes Zarcone. Zarcone throws a push, and that's how that gets started. Some extracurriculars after the whistle, 9:30 left.
That's the first push, whatever we've seen tonight in just terms of post-play, extracurricular activities. They're getting frustrated, and Kingsbury immediately grabbing his teammate just to tell him, hey, you know what, calm down, it's okay. Don't get too riled up here.
And I see Kyle Richards, the head coach for Bama, actively frustrated on his own bench. I think with that call, maybe want a penalty on Forfar. That puck chipped ahead. It looks like it was about to come into the stands. This side, we haven't had one of those yet tonight.
Yeah, please, no, none of those tonight. That's what I would like.
Into the corner. Charlie Salk trying to hold his man right there. He got the puck loose.
Again.
Yeah, this puck, our field of vision here at the treehouse just looks like it's like flying up.
I mean, it's like we're in a VR machine. It's a depth perception is a little weird here.
How about Bowman? 2-line pass, couldn't hold on to it. Justin Reese over the red. 8:45 left to go. They'll line up by 7. Maybe they'll find a way to get 10 for the 3rd time this season. Chance home run to Drew Richter. Richter ahead. Richter is one man to beat. He's going, looks like he could have dropped over Justin Reese, but he didn't. And that line will go for a change.
Yeah, Richter's just been kind of waiting around. I mean, a couple of times in this period, he's just been sitting there on his own blue line there, just waiting for passes. Had a chance there.
Stephen Quinn looking for goal number 2. Throws it ahead to Thomas Colas, far side half boards. Colas for Ernsting. Ernsting passed to Quinn. Quinn, a chance for Mark Cadati. He couldn't find the back of the net.
Great save.
That was an open net, though, but Grant Kingsbury, a wonderful save by him. Garrett Kingsbury, wonderful save by him.
Yeah, and then I was talking about Kingsbury earlier before that push happened. The 2 goals he's given up, I mean, they're basically impossible to save. Perfect through pass by Ernsting to Quinn. You're never going to save that. And then just the puck just kind of flopping around in midair. But other than that, he's made some really good saves, that being the best one of this period.
Face-off won by that line. Shot on by Joe Nolan. Deflected by number 11, Dylan Teed. Back to Nolan. And Nolan, he looks like he was thrown to his own line mate, Jack Graham, but he didn't. Head to Thomas Colas. Colas at the goal line. 7:50 left. The Illini up by 7. Looks like this is going to be the Illini's 8th win of the season. Be shocked if they lost.
I mean, at this rate, Alabama would have to score a goal every minute if they were to complete in one of the greatest comebacks in sports, period. I don't care what level it is.
I'm telling you, you'd be on ESPN for the 2nd straight day if that happened. You got to tell the story of what happened. Go on. You got a little breaking action right now. Give me a 10-second story.
10-second story? Well, I called the men's basketball opener last night. Trent Frazier had to play with some good sportsmanship. I was able to announce it, and they put the video on ESPN's Twitter. And, hundreds and thousands of views later, and nothing's changed for me.
See, we always had Cristiano Simonetta, who we thought was going to be the first announcer for Illini hockey on ESPN, but instead, it's the guy that's done 4 games. How about that?
How about that? If only ESPN. I wish ESPN covered hockey. I mean, it's all NBC right now, but I love their coverage of the NHL.
They did a game here at the Big Pond 2 years ago on ESPN 3 against Illinois State. The Illini won that game. Cristiano was down at ice level doing the interviews for that game. Jack Graham takes a hit. And Jack Graham was very shaken up after taking that hit. It was unintentional from Jack Rooney, who checks on Graham after that, the captain of the Crimson Tide. That was a tough hit as he shot that on from the point.
Very, very tough hit. And that's the worst time to get hit, is in the middle of your shot. Always going to shake you up a little bit more just because you're just not prepared for it to happen.
Yeah.
At least on the board, sure, you have that extra impact and can hurt a little bit, but at least with the boards you can just kind of lean on it, kind of break your fall a little bit. But as you're shooting, makes it hurt a little bit more.
Yeah, Jack Graham, we'll see if how fast he gets back in the game, but scary hit for him. Jacob now for Zeke. William Zeke, 9 games. This is his 10th game of the season. Another save by Jake Barnhart, another beautiful save. I was so focused on William Zeke being in the game for the first time today.
I'm so focused on Jake Barnhart's glove. I mean, he might as well play catcher in his off time or during the off season.
No, yeah, completely agree with that. We always say like he's like that's like a Yadi Molina kind of play, just because when they make these acrobatic stops or something, it's you just think of athletic catchers. Joe Mauer retired today, so
yeah, good times, man. Back when the Twins were like decent. Back when the AL Central had like a good team.
Wow, that was White Sox won the World Series in 05. Shot on Luke Forfar from the point. Back to Casper Ribba, right circle. Ribba skates through a man and past one. Drops it. Neil Novosel. Oh, what a play that would have been.
Yeah. Great puck movement there for Illinois. Would have been a great 9th goal, but still could get one.
Casper was only going to get better at this level, is the thing also. So that's a terrifying thought about what he can be in 3 years. Ribba with the puck. Takes a hit. He spins. Ribba's shaken up as well. Jacob now takes a hit from Paul Pregos at the blue line. Now holds on to it. Now a goal line all the way. Cross ice goal line pass. And Neil Novosel the first to it. Luke Forfar now comes away. Justin Reese waits. They go. Luke Forfar to Reese. Reese shot. Paul Pregos looking for the rebound opportunity. Couldn't get it. Back now in front of the net. High slot. And a whistle called. Looks like we'll have a penalty on Alabama. 8-1, 5:40 left to go. Yeah, that gate opens for, let's see who that was. Oh, it's going to be a Joe Nolan penalty. No, check that. Number 27, Nick Price.
Yeah, Nick Price in the box for Bama, so Illinois getting an actual 4th power play, as Bama now have 2 guys in the box, still had that misconduct penalty. Almost expired. I mean, it's almost been 10 minutes since that penalty happened, but now Illinois, 66% on the power play tonight. They're going to hope to make it 75%.
Yeah, good chance for him right now. Maybe to Evan Sabo get on the ice again, get that 3rd goal, get that first career hat trick here at Illinois. So it's been quite the effort from all 4 Illinois lines. So far tonight, Illinois up by 7. 1:40 left to go on Price's 2-man minor.
For a high sticking.
It's my favorite minor.
You have a favorite penalty? That's weird.
What? No, it's high. It's like the one you always make fun of when you're young. Messina blocks Opilka's shot. Opilka to Sabo. That's the guy you got to look for if you want to choose someone to score right now. Back to Pregos. Pregos shot on from the right circle, deflected. Back to Ernsting, the captain at the left point.
Good pad save there from Kingsbury.
Ernsting to Opilka. Back to Ernsting. That pass well, off the stick of Paul Pregos. Able to keep it in the line. Is off in the zone halfway through. Illini not really with a shot so far in this power play. Much more, I don't know, conservative so far.
Yeah, it's probably been their weakest power play today.
Pregos the shot. Deflected blocker save for Kingsbury. That pass behind Bobby Ernsting coming down the ice is Thomas Kolas, who gets it. Kolas tries to skate past one man. Now it's on Stephen Quinn's stick. Quinn, 34 seconds left in the power play.
Really good poke check by Sebold.
Joe Nolan in the right circle. Saved by Kingsbury. 27 seconds left on the power play. 4:07 left in the game. The Illini up by 7 as finally Jeremy Hanna able to leave the box for his 10-minute misconduct. That took a long time, and it's been quite the 10 minutes for Illinois.
Yeah, it just feels like an eternity when you're sitting in the box for 10 minutes, especially at the beginning of a period. A penalty happening just around 4 minutes into the second. Salk just whiffs on that one.
Now under 4 minutes left in the game. Illinois 2 goals here in the third period after 4 in the first. Thomas Colas, 4 in the second, 2 in the first. Nolan. And number 77, Jacob now without a stick. And he still tries to throw a push. Joe Nolan now in the high slot. Shot deflected. Colas. And Jacob now still trying to play some defense.
See, I told you, man. What a save by Kingsbury with the blocker. But I tell you, anytime you lose any part of your equipment, you just go harder. They should just play the game without sticks.
Yeah, Jacob now just started like throwing his arms again.
And
now Jacob now with a breakaway. Jacob now looking for his first goal, and he will. Jacob now play without a stick on defense, has a stick in offense, and beats Jake Barnard 8-2, Illinois.
When you talk about sports cliches, one of them is 110% effort. That play was 135% effort. Losing a stick, staying on defense, gets a stick back, skates all the way down, gets a poke check, stops it, and then with a beautiful shot past Jake Barnhart. Upper 90 from Jacob now. That might have been the best play all game, rivaling the Ernsting pass to Quinn. And that
was fun to watch.
Fun to watch, yeah. 10 goals tonight.
Yeah, Jacob now 6 goals now this season, 2 assists. He's also got a lot of penalty minutes, but he can obviously score. He just shows there. 8-2, Illinois up by 6. 3 minutes left to go alongside Ori Benatar. I'm Stephen Cohn. You're watching Illini Hockey presented by YouTube. The steal and a chance for Evan Sabo looking for that third goal. It's one of those things you talk into existence. It'll happen finally.
And if Alabama, one thing they most definitely need to work on is giving the puck away near their net. They've had a lot of those, but Illinois haven't scored on any of those chances in this game.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is in that hype video that starts our broadcast. Stephen Quinn, first series of the season, kind of steals that and just does a wraparound chance to score the goal that gave him a hat trick in the second game. And that's the thing I think Illinois has the ability, and now another chance. Number 35, Johnson, 36. Mark Gandati on top of a Bama player right now as Barnhart stops that one, the net dislodged. And 8-2. But yeah, no, that's Bama has to be able to clear the puck more, because if they're giving Illinois chances, like just on the forecheck, it's not going to be a good game either tomorrow night.
Right, they just haven't been able to clear the puck a lot. And I think Bama should be happy. I think progressively as the periods have gone along, in fact, I think they played better each period. Second period, sure, they gave up 4 goals, but one of which was on a power play and just on some really good shots. But overall, I think Bama, this has been their best period. They've been able to hold Illinois defensively. The 2 goals they've given up were both basically unsavable just because of a wacky deflection and a perfect pass to the far post. So I think Bama, they've steadily, slowly improved, but they have a lot to work on before tomorrow's game.
Yeah, no, it comes down to which Illinois team shows up tomorrow as that shot Nick Price deflects into the corner. Now it goes Bama in their offensive zone with just under 2 minutes left to go in this game. And chance now in front, Taylor Joseph, he's their lead.
Save.
Yeah, that's he's got the most goals on the team at 8. Saved by Barnhart. But yeah, it's going to matter which Illinois team shows up tomorrow, and is Bama able to capitalize on what they did tonight. Because if Illinois can bring the same intensity, I think they could win again by 4 or 5 goals. But if they slow down and don't push in the first period, and Bama's able to play like they are in the third, it could be a much closer game.
Yeah, and I think we probably will see a closer game as Illinois get a penalty here, as I think Tyler Opilka's in the box now. But I think an interesting thing worth pointing out, now with 8 goals today, Illinois has scored 31 on Friday nights at the Big Pond, but now with a shorthanded
chance for 32. Luke Forfar going. No man to beat but the goal. Doug Forfar.
Oh,
got the bag, and now Luke Forfar. Wow, 9-2.
10 seconds into the penalty kill. Forfar just goes coast to coast. We thought he was going to go to his backhand, goes back to his forehand. If we're talking tennis terms and hockey terms, great goal by Luke Forfar. So to add to 2 power play goals, Illinois get a shorthanded and have 9 tonight against the 19th team in the country.
He's not real. That was, oh my. The junior from Darien. Last year only played 10 games after he rejoined the team in the second semester. Didn't play with them first semester, and this season he has been great as one of this team's assistant captains. 6 goals, 2 assists.
Just so much action in this game. And as I was saying, Illinois had 31 goals on a Friday night. Now let's make it 32. But for Alabama, their last 3 road games have been rough. Now they've conceded 27 goals in their last 3 road games.
Ooh. That's rough. And that's Alabama's a good home team. but the splits between home and away for the Tide, not that good.
And that seems just like a classic trope in the ACSA. There's just so many teams that either at home they're amazing or on the road.
Forfar again. Forfar going down the left side. He's stopped by Nick Price.
Yeah, he was trying to do his best move in the bunch.
Jacob now just had a goal after he picked up his stick. 70 seconds left in this game. Price, far side to Briere. Blocked away. Jake Barnard under a minute away from only allowing 2 goals. And another win for him. It would be a 6th of the season. Behind the net now. Hits the back of the net. And wide, and Price going to have to reset going all the way back. 40 seconds left, 55 seconds left on Tyler Opoka's 2-man minor. That'll take us to the end of the game.
This has been Illinois' best game this season, performance-wise, offensively, defensively, just everything. This has been the best game this season for Illinois, and I think this game just shows the rest of the country how good this team can be if everyone is on point. And this is all without their top scorer, John Moskaluk. So it just goes to show how many weapons Illinois have for this season.
Kendati ahead to Reese, 12 seconds left to go. Tyler Opoka still in the box of the Illini shorthanded. But that's how this game is going to come to an end. One last rush by Sable with 5 seconds, and that's diffused by Justin Reese. It ends on the stick of Charlie Salk, and Illinois is 8-3-3 with a 9-2 victory over the number 19 Alabama Crimson Tide. A great game for Illinois and showing the potential of what this team might be this year.
Yeah, can't complain about an 11-goal game. It was entertaining throughout. We saw so many different kinds of goals. Wrist shots from the point on power plays. We saw great rushes, one from Bama, a couple from Illinois. That an amazing individual shorthanded goal from Luke Forfar. And the best game this season for Nick Fabrini's men. But they're going to have to come back on Saturday and have another really good performance, because since they've started playing some really competitive teams at the Big Pond, Illinois have had one great game and then a bogey game in 2-game series.
Give me your 3 stars of the game. There's a lot of people to choose from.
There's a lot of people to choose from.
Illinois shared the love tonight.
So I'm going to say first star to Bobby Ernstine getting that goal. He got that incredible pass. I mean, just a gorgeous pass. So he's my first star. Evan Sabo, my second. I thought he played really well. And then the third star, can I just have the rest of the team tied for the third star? Or actually, you know what?
Give me Jake Barnard. Why not?
No, I'm going to give an Alabama player some love. I'm going to give some love to Jacob now. I thought he played really well. Again, when you take a piece of equipment away from a hockey player, they play tougher. They're going to hit guys without their stick. They're going to shoot with their feet. It doesn't matter. That, for me, was the best play of the night. Jacob now losing his stick, picking it up, getting a poke check, scoring an individual goal. Perfect shot. Got to give him love. I'll give him the third star just to give the Tide a little bit of love here.
That game was so fun. Let's do it again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Alongside Eric Fisher, it'll be me, Stephen Cohn. But tonight, for Patrick Catazone, Claire O'Brien, Sylvia Morano, and Ori Bent, I'm Stephen Cohn. Have a good night, everyone. The Illini win this one 9-2. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. as the Illini go for the sweep over the Alabama Crimson Tide.